Oh, the music. Oh my god. Hello, everyone.
Wait, the music's still play. Oh,
It's gone.
okay. Okay, professional streamer. So Candy and I were talking for about like 12 extra minutes past the start time, and I went, "Hey, shouldn't you have started the podcast by now?" And she went, "Oh wait."
I forgot
Wonderful.
about the podcast. Why
Oh
is,
my god.
why is slow mode still activated? What the fuck? I did disable that, right?
I don't know.
Slow mode? Slow mode. Okay. That was weird. The thing is, I keep accidentally activating the shield mode with my elbow.
You put us in a chapel this time around.
Yeah. Is my temple to Asmodeus?
This place is big. Where did you fit? This is part of our house?
Yes.
What the? Hello! What the fuck?
It's a big house. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Have you read The House of Leaves?
No, is it good?
Yeah, it's very good. And it's one of those things that only work as a book, because like it starts doing funky stuff with like the way it's formatted and shit. Like at some point you will turn the page and like the text is sideways, or like doing the little drawings and stuff like that with the text.
I also have to notify something, professional streamer. You didn't rename the stream and change it to Let's Talk.
Oh yeah, fuck.
You know what, I called you early and I was like, yeah, we could call a little early so you can get things prepared. Oh.
Listen, I was eating pizza earlier and I got distracted by the pizza.
Could we? If only we had animators who listen to this, so it could just be like the animated me pushing you to the floor, and you look up at me at like Pepe with the tray, and I'm just laughing at you, and it has like a dunce cap that says streamer on it.
I actually have a redeem. I actually have a channel point redeem that like puts a little sign. Let me find it.
Yeah, okay. Good times all around.
I wanted to ask you before I forget.
Okay.
Before I forget, do you still have the fucking rat song stuck in your head?
Yeah, I do.
Wait, why is that one? Huh? Please clap.
Do you want to? You know what? Just watch the video on the stream. I'll link it to you. Hold on.
Why does it say please clap?
Okay, so here's the video that has caused me, has caused this to stick in my head. Play it on the stream.
Well, I need to. Okay, go away.
It's also short. So.
Why are they all enabled at the same time? What the fuck?
This is like a horror stream now.
No, I'm just going to leave that there.
Ghost.
That's just going to be there the entire stream now. Oh no, okay, he redeemed that. Yeah, thank you, Silent.
Okay, yeah, so I did.
Okay, so I'm going to scoot you over to this side.
Oh god, not again. I always have to be on your lap.
Because you're the smaller one.
I'm gonna kill you one day.
I'll just come back. Okay, let's see what this video is about.
It's why the rat dance is stuck in my head.
How droll.
And the thing is, like, it
It's a
totally
good
fits on
song.
character.
Yeah, because the doppelganger is just Virgil's subconscious. Like subconsciously, he'd want to do that.
Yeah, it feels totally on character. It works.
Yeah, it's perfect. I love this. I love this guy's like animated. They're amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you about brain rot, because
all right, brain rot.
I have had the weirdest brain rot this week.
Is it about the woman from the game?
No, because every now and then I put down a note, right? About like something I would like to talk on stream.
Yeah.
And one of my notes this week literally just says Jason Derulo.
Yeah, okay, so you told me this earlier, and I was curious, and you forgot, and then you remembered.
Yeah.
And then I asked you, did Jason Derulo like slight you? And you went, kinda. So go on, elaborate.
Okay, so I have this the weirdest fucking like brain rot this week, because like the way he sings his name,
Jason Derulo.
With like the heavy, like the heavy autotune and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason,
the start of his songs.
For some reason, this week, every now and then, I just hear that in my brain, like isolated, just like a ghost. Like it's just like there's just a ghost going around.
He's telepathically communicating to you. Yeah, Jason Derulo. Yeah, that used to happen a lot. I made fun of that. Like I want to say 5 to 7 years ago. Because my friend was like, "Do you know who Jason Derulo is?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's all I know is he sings his fucking name at the start of his songs."
I think last time he was relevant is back in the Xbox 360 era, when there was like a Kinect Star Wars game, and he made a song for that game.
Oh my god, you're so right, the dancing one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot.
And he made a song for that game that is like, I am solo. I don't know why I remember the chorus of that song.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going solo. Oh my god, I hate that fucking. Xbox was weird. That whole gen was weird. Who dares ping me in a server? If it's an everyone ping, I will go over and I will slap. Oh, it's from the game, man. That would be bad on me if I did that.
No, yeah, that generation was weird. Do you remember there was like this one commercial with like a rapper? I don't remember which rapper it was, but there was one commercial where he just goes, it's like a Christmas commercial, but instead of going happy holidays or anything, he goes like happy Xbox.
Happy Xbox rapper.
I don't know. I think it was a rapper.
I don't remember. It's because they pulled in so many. Those commercials always pull in so many celebrities that it just becomes like pointless to remember any of it.
Yeah.
It's like you'll get like fucking Eminem in a Call of Duty commercial. You'll get Snoop Dogg on one, and you're just like, whatever. What does it matter? I don't know who in marketing, maybe some people care, but who in the hell cares on marketing is like, oh my god, Ed Sheeran plays Final Fantasy Tactics. What? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, like I don't know. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about today, and I was thinking about that actually, because and just like, like celebrities, crossovers, stuff like that, because for some reason YouTube has been recommending me Mortal Kombat videos this week. And I was just like,
Max's like Mortal Kombat video or something, and then it just procced the algorithm.
I don't know, and I was just watching Mortal Kombat 1 videos, and I was like, okay, what is Mortal Kombat even about anymore? Because it's like
Mortal Kombat even about?
Yeah, because like all the matches were like the Terminator versus RoboCop versus Rambo versus Homelander.
Do you honestly not know any sort of? Do you not know anything about Mortal Kombat? I feel like you would have.
No, I do, because I'm just thinking like nowadays, what is it about? Because like, and I mean like rhetorically.
Because this does segue from the celebrity thing. I mean, to be fair, I don't think those characters have any story significance for the most part. They're just DLC add-ons. Because Mortal Kombat's all about the timeline distortion bullcrap, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. It feels to me
Yeah.
like it kind of doesn't have an identity anymore.
I still okay, yeah, true. I do like that they're the weird ones that include like old horror movie people in fighting games.
Yeah.
Cuz there was like a meme where the guys from Scream are just paired up with anyone on the MK roster and they go like, hold on a second, hold on a second. What the fuck are we doing? He will kill us. We are just men with knives.
Yeah. No, I don't know because like you look up at like matches and you find matches where like it's just like movie characters.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. Plus,
you look up a playthrough of the arcade mode and half the matches are like against
yeah.
movie characters. So like I don't know, it feels like it doesn't have an identity anymore. It feels like at this
Well,
like it feels like Mortal
yeah.
Kombat is becoming Fortnite for divorced dads.
No, I get what you mean. The problem with Mortal Kombat is also just like my least favorite fighting game. I'll
Yeah.
gladly admit. But like, the problem is more since Mortal Kombat kind of went into that celebrity playing thing and just like Western fictional character dream fighters for DLC. They run into a different problem because here's the thing with DLC fighters in games, if you have your Guilty Gear, if you have your Blaze Blue, well, Blaze Blue doesn't really isn't really that alive anymore, but like fuck it, Garo Mark of the Wolves or whatever, City of Wolves. DLC characters will sometimes just be celebrities, just like fucking Ronaldinho and that DJ guy. But
Yeah. Who is like
yeah,
who is the market for that guy?
usually you'll also get in at least those other two DLC characters of returning people from the SNK universe. And the thing with fighting games is they're very interesting because people will usually go, but the DLC characters are broken. It's like you have to kind of understand the DLC characters are made post them already developing the game, and as they keep on making more DLC characters, they better know that engine, they better know like the meta, they better like they know better on everything. So starting something from scratch rather than repairing it is far
Mm-hmm.
easier.
Yeah.
And so that's why a lot of DLC characters end up being a lot more smooth on the outset. Um, and the problem with Mortal Kombat is since a lot of their DLC, if not all of it, my recollection is movie and Western characters, they just innately shine the default cast, and they just you get like the casual audience that wants to play them because oh that's a thing that I watched or whatever, and you'll
Yeah.
get people who like some sort of competitive play going like it's actually kind of easier to pick up this character and play them in a consistent manner and stuff like that, which
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty bad because you'll get just
Mm-hmm.
your some of your base roster characters just being like, well, I guess they're too busy playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'ma
Yeah.
just go here and rip a guy's spine out.
Yeah, and I feel like that's another problem like speaking of the roster, I think that's another problem Mortal Kombat has nowadays, and that is like between Mortal Kombat 9 and 10 and 11 and the new one, they are very inconsistent about who comes back and who gets replaced by like a new person.
Yeah, well,
So
timeline
like
fucker is
it's very hard to like pick a main.
their story is also just stupid.
But it's
I'll
very
just
hard
say
to
it.
pick a main because like you pick a character in 9 and they don't show up in 10, so you pick a different main in 10, but then the
Well, you have
character
to.
come back in 11 and it's like okay, but like
Yeah. Well, you'll
mm,
always have their icons, right? You'll have Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Kitana,
yeah,
Raiden, and then the rest is oh Scorpion, obviously Sub Zero, and then the rest is just like a toss up in the air.
yeah,
Well, you know what? No, Sonya Blade, Johnny,
yeah,
and now I think Cassie got really popular.
yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, like say for example, like because I did play Mortal Kombat 9 when that was a thing. Uh, and the character I ended up like gravitating towards in that game was Scarlet.
Oh, the blood. Well,
Yeah,
that's on brand for you.
yeah, I ended up playing a lot of Scarlet, and then Mortal Kombat 10 comes out, and she's nowhere. She's not there.
Yeah. Well,
And then Mortal
there's
Kombat
also
11
just
comes out, and she's back again, but she's different.
yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. Because the thing is with some fighting games, they'll reuse like a move set and then just map it to a different character. And so when the other character comes back, they get a new move set. But to my knowledge, I don't think that happens to to Scarlet because her move set was relatively unique amongst the cast.
Yeah.
So rebooting it is kind of a moot point.
Mm. And it's like
Oh.
I understand like the idea of like trying to because like I understand like as far as like like the visual, because between Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and 11 the visual style has changed a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that because I'm going to be honest, the characters in Mortal Kombat 9 were kind of ugly.
They are.
They were kind of
Nine, I
scummy.
mean, to be fair, are you telling me that the 7th gen had some ugly looking fight like Western games? That's wild.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, but they were
Yeah.
like like especially scummy. They look baked, and
Yeah, they did.
by baked I don't mean high. I mean like physically cooked in an oven.
I'd still do deplorable things to Jade if I was if I was
Yeah, and I also understand like the desire to like move away from the like bikini ninja thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I understand that, and I'm not going to like.
Well, who was it? One of them had a skin where they were just covered in gauze, but they were like barely covering anything.
Yeah, that was Melina.
Yeah, and you're just like, Jesus.
So like I'm also not going to like, because I'm also not going to like get angry about the fact that like Scarlet is in an bikini anymore, right?
I couldn't even remember Scarlet's look that much. I just remember her moveset. Let me see. Scarlet MK. She was in 9?
Yeah.
She was in 9. I completely forgot she was in 9.
But like they all looked at like, all of the female ninjas look the same
Oh
in,
yeah,
in
ooh, yeah, she was having the bikini thing. A lot of them were.
yeah, but
A
like
lot of the girls had the interchangeables.
all of the female ninjas in MK9 has like the same costume with like an extra strap here and there.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at her MK11 because I want to say that I do remember her MK11. Yeah, the MK11 looks actually nice.
Yeah, I really like and like actually it's not the main costume. It's not the main
Is it
costume
the
I
alternate
like.
with the short hair?
No, it's the one with the there's one that with a really cool coat.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
The one that has like a really cool. It almost looks like a Cold War kind of thing.
Yeah, this is really cool. Where the fuck? How dare?
And I really like that costume. I really like the way that costume looks. So, like, I actually really like the way Scarlet looks in Mortal Kombat 11. But like, she's a completely like gameplay wise, she's a completely different character. And that yeah, that kind of bums me out. And like, I never got into Mortal Kombat 11, so it's not like that hurt me a lot necessarily. Because but that point, I feel like I don't know. I feel like Mortal Kombat X was the one the last one everyone liked.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. I remember
And I feel
X
like
was like a thing a lot of people cared about, and then I didn't really hear much.
I feel like Mortal Kombat X was the one like anyone cared about, and then like the series has like, at least from the hardcore audience, because Mortal Kombat is one of those things that is never going to go away with the like casual audience.
No, I think it kind of. Jesus, hold on. I'm sorry.
You're looking at boobies.
I might have been. I was just like, how bad is Molina's outfit? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's bad.
He,
I'm not even sure I can show it.
yeah, no, I was just like, you would have gotten about as much coverage if you used like duct tape.
Yeah.
like it's just like, because you look at it and you're like, how did they get away with it? Like, did they get an M rating? I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
Graphic. So yeah,
And like,
all right, that checks out. Yeah, okay.
yeah, like I don't know, like yeah, I remember that costume, and it's like there is this thing like some because like there are some cosplayers that like do like
yeah.
there are some cosplayers that do like sexy but like not like explicitly nude, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one thing they do they do is like when they're wearing something that has like very little coverage in like the chest area, they put like band-aids on their nipples to hide them.
Well, here's the thing. It's not just her chest area.
Yeah.
It's pretty much everything.
No, her ass is out. Her ass is out.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the back, her ass is out.
Now to be fair, anyone watching this now or in the future, me and Candy aside, this isn't just us. The thing is with that outfit, it is in the story mode.
Yeah.
It's not like a bonus like, oh, here's a perfect skin for you if you want. It's just like it's just part of the story mode for 9. So
Yeah. I don't. Speaking of
yeah.
that, like, isn't it funny? I don't know. I mean, and it's kind of a shame because I actually kind of like the gameplay of those games. But isn't it funny the way they are not making any more Dead or Alive games, but they're still making the volleyball ones?
Dead or Alive. Oh yeah.
They're not making any new like fighting games, but they're still making the volleyball ones. Like there was a new one that came out like this year.
Honestly, fine. Like I'm not even mad. I'm just like, yeah, we all know why we're here.
Yeah. But like there are
we all
and
know.
like I kind of understand because Dead or Alive 6 was very bad.
Yeah.
Like DOI 6 was not a good game, and like you can tell that you know like what was the thing that told me immediately that that game wasn't serious, that the game was just like thrown together and like used to sell something.
What?
So like fighting games, but one thing that is like regardless of like if it's 2D or 3D or like you know like regardless of like what how the game is set up, like something that is consistent across the entire genre is that the games are always designed in a way that they get to 60 FPS on every platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 60 FPS is like one of the core pillars
Oh
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
genre.
For fighting games, even on console, they have to hit that target
Yeah,
because otherwise it's kind
Dead
of
or Alive
yeah.
on PS4 runs at like 35 FPS.
Yeah, no, I recall this. I
And
think
it,
also just like one of the Dead or Alive games, didn't they have like a totality of like 400 to 600 in DLC
yeah, no, just that,
of
but
cost?
like to be honest, to be fair, that's just like that is just Koei Tecmo. Koei Tecmo is like one of the worst ones when it comes when it comes to DLC.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, no, but yeah, like Dead or Alive 6 was like kind of bad, so it doesn't surprise me that they're kind of dropping the series for now. But like it's a shame because like I actually really like the gameplay of like yeah, like I'm not going like people know me. Like I've been streaming for long enough, people know me. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, I definitely don't look at the boobies. I am above that. Like I'm not going to
You
sit there and
do. You yeah. No,
I am not
you've
going to
linked
sit
those
here.
characters before. Yeah,
I am not going to sit here and pretend that I am above that.
I know.
Uh, but the thing
And
is
if
like
you did, I wouldn't let you.
yeah, but I mean there is a sound redeem of me going why my pee pee hard.
There is. I know. You just showed.
Yeah,
Not
there.
your hard whatever. I'm fucking shut up. Shut up.
uh,
I caught myself too late in that. Okay, well,
yeah.
well.
No, but like yeah, like boobies aside,
Yeah.
like I actually like the gameplay of DOA 4 and 5. They're fun.
I mean,
Like they're
this is our yeah. You and I differ on this. I prefer like more strict 2D fighters, and you like the kind of
3D,
3D
yeah.
fighters akin to Tekken. And well, the problem with 3D fighters is like you start throwing in like anime arena stuff, and we have to make another distinction. It's
Yeah,
like you like your Tekkens, your Soul Calibers, etc.
yeah,
I kind of called them. I used to call them bounce fighters, considering like the power geysers that you would do
yeah.
and juggling. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just call them the sidesteppers.
Sidesteppers is also an appropriate one. Yeah.
Yeah, but like There Are Alive 4 and 5 are very, very, very simple. Very streamlined. So and they are really fun. Because like okay, for example, like they really, really simplified like the combo strings. So you don't have to memorize a lot of like weird inputs. It's just like pressing the right buttons in the right order basically. And every now and then you have to like every now and then you have to like throw in like a movement input or something like that. And you get so you can get like very, very long strings very easily. And the game works on like on like a rock paper scissors system. Right? Because you have like the 4 buttons, right? Right? It is a 4-button
Yeah.
fighter. But like one of the buttons is blocking. And the other 3 buttons each do a thing. and every one of those buttons has like a hard counter on another on like another button, right? So the other three buttons are working on like a rock paper scissors thing. It's like A beats B, B beats Y, and Y beats A, right? So the game is really more about like the fundamentals of like the movement and like like dodging and like getting in and like the correct time and like learning the animations to know like what button is being pressed or to press the button that counters it.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about that than like because like the game is like it's less about like the like being like super hardcore with like the mechanical depth and more about like the spectacle. Like the idea of those games is just like to look cool, right? Like that is the
Yeah.
so once you get the fundamentals down, it is very easy to just get like really cool looking fights. And there's also like a lot of like really silly stuff because like like one thing that is very common in like the sidesteppers, like your Tekkens and your Soul Caliburs and stuff like that is to have like some degree of like stage interactivity.
Mm-hmm.
So for example in Soul Calibur you have like the ring outs. In Soul Calibur every stage has like an edge, and like
Yeah, so does stuff like Virtua Fighter.
yeah, and if you get the enemy to fall off that edge, you win automatically, regardless of how many health they have.
Yeah.
In Tekken there are like walls and wall breaks.
Yeah, wall bouncing and wall breaks, right?
Yeah, and like the wall breaks can open new parts of the stage, and there's also some stages in Tekken. I think started in 7 or in Tag 2. I think it started in Tag 2 actually. There are some stages that have like floors that break too. So you drop to like another stage, like under the stage you were on. And like so Dead or Alive also had like stage interactions, but they were super fucking over the top, right? Because like on Tekken when you get a wall break, it's just like another room. If the stage is very like over the top, maybe you fall off a balcony, but like only a floor. Right?
Yeah, I do remember like the stage break for like Geese Howard's like mansion or whatever.
Yeah. No, in Dead or Alive, if you get a wall break, like there's a stage that isn't like because on Tekken 7 there is a stage that isn't like on helipad on like the top of a skyscraper, right? And that stage has a wall break, but that wall break is just to get you like inside of the rooms on that area, right? You're still on the same floor. In Dead or Alive 5, there is a similar stage that also takes place on like a helipad on top of a skyscraper. But the wall break on that is the fence around the helipad, and if you break it, you fall all the way down to the street, and you survive somehow. And if you're playing as one of the characters that have an Izuna drop, because there are a few characters that have an Izuna drop on Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
You can like time it right to get the Izuna drop on the wall break.
Mm-hmm.
So you can essentially Izuna drop someone all the way down from the fucking skyscraper all the way down to the fucking street.
That's pretty rad. That's awesome. That's like the Charizard seismic toss.
Yeah, and like there is another one where it's like the wall break. The wall break doesn't open anything because it's like a highway with like a bunch of like cars around the arena, and the wall break doesn't like open in a new area. What the wall break does is all the cars explode, and they send the enemy flying around.
That's pretty great. I like interactive stages within fighting games. I know some people are mixed on it, but I always just liked it because it just adds more to the experience in my head.
Yeah.
I mean, some games kind of like ended up getting screwed by it. If I remember right, like Injustice 1 was too dependent on it because there was like that funny thing where there was like I think a slaughterhouse one and you could just punch a pig on a hook and it would just roll over to the side of your opponent and just whop them for a bunch of damage. And people would just spam that.
Beating my hog.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not going to turn into a sound alert.
Until you die.
No, yeah, I remember there was one really funny one in Mortal Kombat X. There is like an infinite. There is in Mortal Kombat X. There is an infinite. There is a stage where there is an infinitely respawning old lady that you can throw at the enemy over and over again.
Why is this my fate? Ah!
An infinitely respawning old lady. Yeah. No, yeah, like I like I really like, for example, like the stage out mechanic, like the edge on the Soul Calibur games, because it leads to like some really funny moments sometimes. Because like there are some characters that have like one or two attacks that like launch them forward really fast. So if you can get to an edge and then bait one of those attacks, you can sidestep out of the way and the enemy just kind of runs off the edge by themselves. And you win. Like, Boldo, the BDSM guy on Soul Calibur, Boldo.
Yeah, he's the weird one, right? Like the one that walks backwards.
Yeah, yeah, the BDSM guy.
Yeah, I remember him.
He has an attack, where he like gets on all fours, but like backwards, like bending his back, and he starts running, and it's very hard to stop when he starts running. So if you can bait that attack, like near an edge, what he does is like what you get is just like a dude on like BDSM get up, walking running on all fours off a fucking cliff. It's a shame Soul Calibur is dead. It's a shame because those games are really fun. And Soul Calibur 6, like the most recent one, was really good. Like it started weak, but like by the end of season 2, it was really good. So it's a shame those games are dead because like, yeah, like Harada was asked about, like, for anyone who doesn't know, Harada is like the guy from Tekken. And
Yeah.
Tekken is owned by the same company as Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
And
He used
someone
to
asked
work on
him,
both, right?
yeah, someone asked him like,
Yeah.
someone asked him where Soul Calibur was going, and he just straight up said like nowhere, because no one inside the company wants to be the director of anyone.
It's a rough place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't
Which
the
is a
sword,
shame.
didn't the Soul Calibur and the Tekken team used to have like an internal like rivalry, just to like friendly?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to be honest, I think like, I don't know, like looking back at like the different games, like over the years. I don't know why, but like the Soul Calibur games are just superior. You know? Like I don't know.
I think it's no. I agree with you. Because I feel like with Tekken goes with some pretty interesting landscapes, but they stay a little too true to some of the color usage.
Yeah.
But since I keep calling it Sword Calibur, since Soul Calibur is fantasy, it can just fuck around with a lot of like different usages of color and the landscapes along with it.
Yeah,
And then you
and
get like characters that pop off with their armor and everything.
and like I feel like another thing is like, for example, like like the post processing and like the color grading.
Mm-hmm.
Tekken is always like, at least since Tekken 6, they are trying to like the cinematic color grading. So you
Yeah,
get like
yeah.
so you get like very harsh colors with like, like very high whites and very crisp blacks. And like a lot of bloom.
Yeah.
And like Soul Calibur, like 4, 5, and 6, like they use like way more softer colors, and like, yeah, it's just more pleasant, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, it's also the thing that Tekken it puts itself more on that. So does like MK for that sort of like realism touch. But like the fighting games that I always gravitate towards too are the ones that play around with the look of anything, regardless of how realistic, quote unquote, the setting is. Like old KOF, SNK current. I feel like it's 1 or 2 games away from getting to somewhere I like personally.
Yeah, like they are getting better. Like the jump
They're
between, like the improvement between KOF 14 and 15 was insane.
Yeah, and then 15 to like this is getting better, and like I think like wait, maybe 2 or 3 games will hit a style where I'm like, this is absolutely good for what it is. Like obviously
Yeah,
you
you
couldn't bring
know,
back sprite art, but this will work.
if the Saudi prince hasn't eaten it by then.
Yeah, listen. And then Street Fighter like 6, it was like really great. Like even if a SF5 looked ugly because of the character models, their usage of color and stuff for the backgrounds, their
Oh yeah, the
designs,
backgrounds are
like
really nice.
yeah, like
I
they're well done.
remember this the one that is like a train station with
Yeah,
like the shiny
yeah,
floors and like the sun because it was like a sunset, so you get like the nice like yellow light from the
yeah.
windows, and you get like the shiny floors and like yeah, the
I
station
remember
the stages on Street Fighter Five look really nice.
I remember also loving the Evo or the Capcom Cup tournament stage too, looking really hype, and some of the beach stages. Like they do wonderful coloring, but like the models just didn't look too great. And then 6, it's just like it popped off. It looks much better. They still go with that really saturated and vibrant style, and it's just really pleasant to look at. I absolutely adore it.
Oh man, speaking of six, it's like there has been like more footage of the Nintendo Switch version of Street Fighter Six, right?
Hmm.
And it's really funny because
What's wrong? Or good?
they are comparing it like with like the Xbox Series S version, of course, right?
Well, yeah, it's probably gonna blow it out of the water. That's not.
And the thing is like uh the Switch 2 version is actually running at a lower resolution internally,
Mm-hmm.
but because it's using DLSS, it actually ends up looking better.
Oh man, the Xbox can't catch a break in this situation.
It actually ends up looking better, and because the Xbox Series S has 10 gigabytes of memory and the Switch has 12, the Switch version actually gets the high resolution textures from like the other console versions, but the Xbox
Oh
Series S
wow.
doesn't.
I still look at we talk about this stupid little box more than we should, but I'm still fascinated it was a choice. Like the affordable version thing, sure, but
And that's not even a thing anymore because
it isn't. No, yeah,
every
but
Xbox
like
console is $100 more expensive now. So
yeah,
now an Xbox Series S is more expensive than a Switch 2.
but like one of the key points for consoles is you're trying to put a uniformity to a market. Because
Yeah,
then you could be like, oh, your player base doesn't have necessarily any advantages between themselves. It's easy plug and play, bada bing, bada boom. But then you're just like, what if we gave you a crappier version that was slightly cheaper? And it's like, this is defeating the whole point.
yeah. And like with the new price increases, the fucking Series S is more expensive than a Switch 2.
Just terminate it. Never bring back an S series again.
Yeah,
It's the dumbest idea ever.
like now with the new prices, like you may as well buy a Switch because it's weak, but
Yeah.
at least it's portable.
And
at least you get exclusives.
I've never heard anyone I've known go, I bought an S. I've known no one who owns an S.
I mean, I don't know anyone who owns an Xbox.
Do I know anyone who owns an Xbox? That's a good question. I think maybe one. And he's a YouTuber, so I can't really go like that's valid.
Yeah, like nowadays, like I think like at this point the Xbox is on track to sell about as many units as the GameCube,
Wah, wah.
which isn't great.
Not good.
And like okay, so like these consoles have been around for like 5 years, right?
Maybe 6? 5 to 6? Yeah.
These consoles have been around for like 5 years. And in that time, I think the PS5 has sold around 87 to 90 million units around that area. So you know, not as much as the PS4, but still like a very respectable number.
I guess so. I'm just so I don't know who pitched it. We never know who pitched these things, but like on paper, I guess you could go, yeah. But in execution for a home console, like no, like this works more for like the old portable console days. Like you know how the DS and the 3DS had a variant on like every variant under the sun.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. The PSP as well. but like because the 2000 to 3000, I can't remember the Vita had multi-thousand units, but like that kind of works because in a situation like that, you're like more often than not, the portable games you're like the games you're playing on a portable system, you're just obviously begetting like performance during those days, and any semblance of anything that could be remotely competitive is going to be very like lenient on a lot of things. Like probably it's gonna just be Pokemon or
Yeah.
something. But like for a home console market, like what are you doing? What is the point? It doesn't make sense. It's just
Yeah, and again we get to the debate because okay, so like if you want to play Microsoft games, if you want to play like like the games from the companies they own, you can do it. You can play on Game Pass, right?
we do this every week.
Yeah, and
We
Game
do this
Pass,
every week.
but like they keep giving us reasons to because they raised all the prices this week.
Yeah, they do it. They do it. That's the worst part. I'm like sitting here and I'm like, man, I'm sick of talking about it. And then Xbox is like, no, but how about if I made you talk about it more? I'm like, why?
So like Game Pass is cheaper on PC, right?
Yeah.
And we already talked about the reason why because like the captive audience thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
So if you want to play Xbox games, you might as well use like
Yeah.
use a PC and play Game Pass. And if you want a
Are you gonna
400,
play the Oblivion remastered?
what?
Are you gonna play the Oblivion remastered
I don't know because it has no mod
on
support.
stream? Oh, okay.
I'm probably going to play Oblivion at some point, but it's probably going to be the original.
Okay. Fair.
Um,
Because I thought it would be an interesting case in which you play it and then comment on the differences and stuff like that.
yeah, that
while
could
you
be
play it.
interesting. I don't know.
We'll see.
I mean, the thing is, like, that is an Unreal Engine 5 game, so even if I wanted, I cannot stream it on my current computer.
Valid.
uh, because Unreal Engine 5 is a piece of trash that doesn't work. So
I need caffeine so badly. Go ahead.
So yeah, like you have because okay, so like the Xbox Series S is the same price as a Nintendo Switch 2 now.
Oh yeah, then this just becomes a joke.
So like okay, so like
why?
Because yeah, like the Nintendo Switch is going to be weaker. Like you're going to get like like the games are going to look cheaty. A lot of games are
Switch
going to
2?
be 30 FPS, right?
Wait, are you saying the Xbox Series S is the same price as a Switch 2?
Yeah, because they
Like
raised the
Switch 2.
prices.
To the Switch 2? That's so stupid. All right, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, they raised the price, and the Xbox Series S is 450 now.
Yeah.
So yeah, like in both consoles, the games are going to look like shit, and a lot of games are probably going to only be like 30 FPS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're weak. That is the point. But on the Switch, it's a handheld. So it justifies itself. It is weak because it's a handheld.
Yeah. But here's the thing, with the Switch 2, it's even better hardware and also a handheld. So like
yeah, and also like you get like Nintendo games.
Also, like the Switch 2 is gonna be new, so it's gonna have a longer shelf life in comparison.
Yeah, and like for example, like I know some people were complaining, like, oh, there's going to be like Mario Kart at launch and like a new Donkey Kong game the next month, and that's it as far as like first party games go for the launch of the Switch 2, right? So we
I
have
trust
like
them to make more, but like,
yeah, but the thing is that okay, so like people were complaining. We have like two games on the launch window on like the launch month, right?
Yeah.
But like I'm thinking like that's the same amount of games as like Sony has had in like the last 2 years.
It's so infuriating. Oh, God.
Like you're getting 2 games in a month. If you have a PS5, you had like 2 games every 2 years.
Yeah, it's bad.
And like
someone who owns a PS5, the most of the thing that carried it is the fact I had an existing PS4 library.
Yeah.
And then some of the PS5 versions of some games are like good, I guess, but like at the same time, it's like we found out why. You found out the overinvestment of live services, but yeah. Anyway, go on.
And it's like, and I think Microsoft has like I don't know if we're going to count the Oblivion remake because that is a remake.
Yeah, no.
But like Microsoft has like 2 games this year.
I mean,
I
okay,
think.
if we wanna count the Demon Souls remake, I'll be generous and give them Oblivion.
Okay, so they have.
I'll be like, sure.
Okay, so Microsoft has 3 games, I think, this year.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Too.
They have 3 games this year, so they had, I think, they had Avowed, which kind of came and went.
To be fair, I also want this to be clear because I don't want us to sound like we're filleting Nintendo. It's like I'm still gonna complain about the Switch 2 and some other aspects of
Yeah,
what it's practicing, but
yeah.
it's not too bad. And honestly, usually the start of a console's life is gonna be its roughest patch, even
Mm-hmm.
when you dev games for it, because guess what? Devs have to work with that new hardware, and then when they get near the end, you usually get like the best stuff that's coming out for it. So yeah,
Yeah,
because they've
and
had
like,
enough time with it.
yeah, like that's the thing. Like at the end of every console, you get games that look like they shouldn't work, right?
Yeah, yeah, and
Like
it's
they,
just
they
because like they've yeah.
like they should be running on the next generation.
Yeah.
Uh,
And it's just because like, oh, I familiarized myself with this hardware and how to dev for it for so long.
so like for example, like if you actually like, because like people there is like a fan made PC port of Perfect Dark.
Mm.
If you get that game running at 480p and 60 FPS, it legitimately looks like a GameCube launch title. It's very impressive. Yeah, and like you have your The Last of Us on PS3 and God of War
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
and God of War Ragnarok on PS4
It's so
and like
infuriating. Can we make a sidebar,
yeah.
because this is coming from a person who likes, well, not likes, who just grew up with Sony, so he has that attachment.
Mm-hmm.
For all we give flack for the 8th generation, which is the PS4 and the Xbox One generation, for all those who are trying to remember, because it's hard to remember the numerals nowadays,
Numbers are
is
hard.
yeah, is even though we could say that this generation like kind of lacked an identity because of the homogenization with the PC market, Sony was still kind of like outputting some decent like single player games regularly.
Yeah.
And they were marketing themselves as such. They were even going like, single player narratives aren't dead, and also just like for the player, like all of that. They're branding on it. They're branding on it. And then
Yeah.
in the PS5, they overinvested in the exact opposite of what they were advertising for.
Yeah, now we have no games.
Now we have no games.
I mean, we have one game. Do you forget that there is like a marathon game coming out soon from Sony?
Of course, Marathon will bring it back.
No, actually,
Silly me.
like I don't know who that game was for. Because it is like a Tarkov style game, right? It is an extraction shooter, so it's like Tarkov.
Yeah.
So the idea is that they're using like an old franchise to like prop up that name, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, the last marathon game came out in 1996.
Yeah, no, we also had this discussion last week.
Yeah.
Forgot about
So we have like, okay, who is this game for? But also you have like the idea that like the game is like entirely built around PvP, right? The game is entirely built around PvP, and specifically around 3 versus 3 PvP. So the game is always going to put you in a team. You cannot do solos. The game is always going to put you in a 3-person team. So if you don't have friends, you're going to be put with a bunch of racist people, basically.
Yeah.
So if you want to have any degree of fun with that game, you need to make sure you have at least 2 other friends you got like sucked into that. Because like like extraction shooters are very like tactical, so you need to communicate with your teammates. So it's very hard to like drop in with like a bunch of randoms, even if they end up being like nice people. um, so you need friends. They have any degree of fun, which already is like an obstacle. But then
Yeah.
there is the problem that the game is like entirely built around the PvP. All the progression, all of the game modes, all of the unlocks, all of that stuff is like built around like PvP engagements, like rewards and like loot you get and like experience from the PvP. But what people have realized is that ignoring the PvP and just like shooting the random mobs in the map is more fun. So the thing the game is selling itself is not even the thing the game is good at. So it's like, okay, what are we doing here? Enjoy your food, Silent. Speaking of Bungie, you know what's really funny?
What?
Okay, so Bungie is in this like big legal battle, right? Right now. I mean, it's not a big legal battle. It's like a stupid lawsuit. And I'm going to be honest, the other party is also like kind of dumb. This is this lawsuit is like two horrible parties like fighting at each other. To be honest.
Okay, yeah, two great evils. Who are they suing?
No, they are being sued.
Oh, by who?
Someone who claimed that they stole his story.
Oh yeah, the lore thing. I remember this. Did they have to pull up like a lore video in the court?
Yeah, but like there is an update.
They had to pull up a YouTube lore video for evidence. I remember this.
Yeah, because they deleted the content.
They couldn't fucking do it. Oh, it's so dumb. I just like the idea of like, I don't know, it wouldn't happen, but it's just like if Miyazaki was getting like sued and then someone had to roll up the Vadi video.
No, it's worse. It's worse because
God.
Imagine if like, okay, imagine like let's pretend, imagine a world where the Demon Souls remake doesn't exist, right?
Okay.
Like the original game is the only
It's
one.
a lot like our timeline, really. That thing barely exists in my brain.
A timeline where the original Demon Souls is the only one that exists, but it isn't for sale anymore. You cannot buy it anymore. So imagine Miyazaki was being sued by someone claiming they sold the story for Demon Souls, but they don't have the source code anymore.
That'd be pretty funny.
So they cannot prove that they made the game before that person wrote the story.
Still really funny.
It would be like that because like Destiny has this thing where like they vault content, which basically means they just like took stuff you already paid for and just deleted from the game. Like they have removed entire expansions from the game.
I just, yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't know. I don't know too many. I know like, okay, wait. I only know 2 people who still play Destiny 2.
Yeah. So the thing
like,
is like they had to pull up the lore video because the content that the lore was about doesn't exist in the game anymore.
Yeah, I still find that hilarious.
And turns out they don't have the files either anymore. Like that content just straight up doesn't exist anymore. It is lost media.
So funny.
Well, the update is that the judge was like, YouTube videos are not evidence. So they're fucked.
You can't.
Yeah, that is
like that.
Like that I think that was yesterday that came out.
Yeah, no, they can't be because they're tertiary.
Yeah, so the judge was like, yeah, YouTube videos are not evidence, dude. So they're
secondary or tertiary sources. Yeah, what you would need, in order for that thing to work, it would need to link and cite and reference articles, and those articles would have to be like also valid. But even then, it's just wouldn't work. Why would you delete your source code? I'm just looking at Bungie. I'm like, what would possess you to delete this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, like it's so stupid. I don't know. You know what? You know how I know that you know how I know that Destiny 2 is fucked?
How?
I know people who play a lot of multiplayer games, right? I have friends who play multiplayer games, and they have and so like like the ones that play Helldivers have tried to get me into Helldivers.
Yeah.
The ones that
I
the
mean,
one
we have like 4 people in Euro server who
yeah
do that.
the
Yeah.
ones that play Warcraft have tried to get me to Warcraft.
Yep.
I have had people invite me to play Marvel Rivals. I have people invited me to play League of Legends. Right?
Yep.
Like people are like those people are always trying to get their friends into the game.
Well, that's because that's how those games survive, right?
Yeah.
Like you need your
I know a few people
okay.
that play Destiny 2, and not a single one of them ever tries to get anyone else into Destiny 2.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Because it's like, yeah, this is not fun. I'm just here because of like some cost
The
fallacy.
loot, yeah, loot and sunk cost fallacy. I isn't Bungie also the one with
But
the shitty CEO who like
I'm not going to
who
do
was
this
just
to
like
you.
yeah, wasn't Bungie the one with the shitty CEO or whatever who had like who was bragging about his car collection or something and then laid off people like the next day?
I don't know. The thing is, like, there's so many of them. There are so many shitty CEOs.
Bungie CEO car. No, yeah, it's the Bungie CEO. Yeah, he spent 2.3 million on cars, and he was bragging to everyone in the office. Is like, hey, look at my new cars. You guys should come over to my place and see my 20 classic cars in my fucking place. And then, not too long after that, maybe like the next day or the next week, 100 people had to be let go from Bungie.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Kila. Hey, Kila, did you see my new sound alert?
Oh god.
Kila, did you see my new sound alert?
I was right on the Bungie guy being the card thing.
I don't know, like.
I remember he also turned off his Twitter because he's like, people are being mean to me that I laid off a bunch of people and I spent 2.3 million on cars. Yeah, of course we are.
Why my pee hard?
What was the what?
I just wanted to show it off. It's funny.
Fair.
Why my pee hard?
We were overly ambitious. Our financial safety margins were subsequently exceeded, and we began running in the red. After this new trajectory became clear, we knew we had to change our course and speed, and we did everything we could to avoid today's outcome, even with the exhaustive efforts undertaken across our leadership and product teams to resolve our financial challenges. These steps were simply not enough. Go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, like that's one of those
Pete
things. Like,
Parsons.
I don't know. Like, isn't that the one
Go
company with the shitty
fuck.
CEO? Like, that narrows nothing down.
No, but I added the cars part.
Yeah, the
Because
cars.
I feel
part,
like you
know.
heard the. I feel like you might have heard the cars story.
Yeah, like that is the crazy thing about the shitty CEOs is that like every single one has like a unique way of being a horrible person.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this one is like is spending like the game budget in like cars and firing people to justify that. This one is stealing breast milk. This one just straight up raping people.
Kotick kind of covers the entire spectrum, really, when you get down to it.
Yeah.
Like he checks every box. He sees a new box being formed. He's like, "How can I check that off the list?" And you're like, "Jesus." And then he'll come back and he'll complain. He's like, I really can't find anyone who's willing to date me because they Google me and then they see pictures of the devil. And he's like, well, that if that wasn't a wake up call for you to change something, I don't know what. Like, why are you complaining, Kotick?
Oh,
Are you
Bobby.
Skinner? Are you Skinner? Just in this situation, is like maybe I'm the one that's at fault. No, it's everyone else who's wrong. Like.
Yeah,
I can't care about live service games. Scott the Waz put out a video about live service games, and he always makes some good bangers. But he did bring up the point that live service games on paper do sound amazing because it's a game that will constantly evolve with you and won't necessarily have a shelf life. So it is in on paper, extremely good investment.
Yeah, a forever game.
But in reality, of course not, because in order to sustain that constant dev time and stuff, you just have to and the hire people up, but more so than the dev people, you have to add in some terrible microtransaction and predatory payment methods and shit like that. So yeah, no.
Hey.
I don't think there's a single live service outside of like the one gacha game I play that I could give a damn about.
And you didn't even play that game for the gacha.
I just want mahjong. I just want to play mahjong.
You are the one nerd. You are the one nerd who plays Mahjong Souls for the mahjong.
I don't give a fuck. Do you think I care about? Oh my god, am I the unreasonable one? Hey Nick, you're playing a game, but what about the beautiful anime women? Oh yeah, that's a really unique thing among gacha. I would not have to. Candy, I am in a server with you. I could do one click away from you having 50 pictures of anime women. I am not on a shortage.
Yeah, you know me. You can just hit me
I
up.
know you. So here's the thing: if I'm going to a gacha, why do I care if there's anime women? I'm not on a shortage. No one's on a shortage. I want to play Mahjong. God damn it. I'm at the old person's home and the bitches be on me and I'm like, stay back. I'm trying to go into Tenpai.
Why do you actually, speaking of Mahjong, why do you think there is this thing where like if you look up like Mahjong games, you end up with a bunch of like pair matching games or like Bejeweled clones?
Oh yeah, because the thing is to actually program a four-person Mahjong game now isn't really sustainable because Mahjong Soul is just dominating the market on the multiplayer.
Yeah.
So some single player versions will essentially come out and you just play those like you would like just any sort of pairing game, and it just kind of like I suppose it could help you like be better at playing Mahjong because the God, I don't want to explain too much Mahjong rules and bore everyone. Essentially, you're sorting out your hand, right? You want to go into a state called Tenpai, which means you're just one draw away from winning. So that's what those games are trying to achieve, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah. I don't know. Like there is this VTuber called Da Beast. And the thing he's doing is he has like this series he has going on where he's like trying to beat every single game released for the N64.
That's a pretty cool challenge.
And turns out, and like the thing is like he's doing like all of them, not including like the Japanese only ones.
Oh, that's awesome.
So turns out there is a lot of Mahjong games on the N64.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
And this poor guy had never played any Mahjong before.
Yeah.
So he spent like 40 hours trying to beat the single player campaign on a fucking Mahjong game.
The fact that there's a single player campaign is kind of crazy.
And he had to hire someone to teach him Mahjong.
Hire? Just pop up Mahjong Souls. It has a tutorial.
I don't know. When did that game come out? When did Mahjong Souls come out?
Mahjong Souls came out, I want to say 2019, but when it came to the West, I have no idea. Hold on. Mahjong Soul. There we go. It came out. Okay, so it was released on 2019 worldwide, so April 2019.
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't big enough back then because he started this challenge like 5 years ago.
In China, it was 2018. Yeah. Okay.
He started the challenge like 5 years ago, and he's only like halfway through at this point. So like I'm just trying to imagine. Can you like imagine like trying to do that, but like because there are like around 350 games total, right?
So well, like wait, I'm reading this. As not a fighting game player, that sounds like putting a campaign in a fighting game. I disagree because in theory, Mahjong is just the same game. It's just hand arrangements and RNG versus a fighting game. You're fighting different people in the cast usually. Yeah. You're getting some lore on them. What's the lore of a guy? There's no lore to actual Mahjong in its entirety. It would just be like the guy playing the Mahjong, and then yeah, you're just playing the Mahjong.
Yeah, and like okay, so like okay, there are around 350 games on the N64, right? And this guy has been doing this for about 5 years, and he's about halfway through.
So 175 he's gotten into.
He's about halfway through, yeah. So I'm using. Okay. Can you imagine doing that with the PS2?
Oh no, you'd be doomed.
Yeah, you will die.
I mean, to be fair, I suppose if you were to, if the whole like, I had to bunker down because the apocalypse is here, but somehow electricity will go on till I die. Is like that's a good way to pretty much shave off a bunch of years.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, because the thing is that he's not doing it in order or anything like that. He is like randomly selecting what the next game is going to be.
Oh, that's interesting. Like a roulette wheel. Okay.
And very early on, he got like, actually the way he's doing it is like, with like a game that lets you like simulate marble races.
Oh, that's cool.
So he puts like the name of a game on a marble, and he just throws like all of them on the race. And
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah. It's essentially a lotto thing. I mean, I've seen like what's it? I used to see people do that on Twitch for giveaways and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like very early on, he got the Super Robot Wars game for the N64.
Oh, dope.
And turns out that game is like 300 hours long.
Oh yeah, it's a Super Robot Wars game.
so like I think so like that game is like honestly most of the time he has spent doing this challenge.
What if we made a JRPG with almost every mecha anime or property available as a crossover? It's like, yeah, you're doomed. You're cooked.
Aren't they making a new one?
Yeah, they always make one. Yeah.
I think there was one that was announced on the Japanese version of like the most recent Nintendo Direct.
I mean, it's a cool thing. It's just like it's your dream, not necessarily even a dream fighter. It's just like, hey, what if all these characters from across these different universes interacted and we're all buddy and stuff and had a bunch of dialogue and stuff like that. It scratches that itch for the crazy person who's really into that sort of genre.
Yeah, and like the crazy part, like the game by default is like super long, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to all
Yu-Gi-Oh has different archetypes. Mahjong is just all the same tiles. I've got an argument about this. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at it. I get where Kill is coming from. I really do. But it's like the problem is everyone's using the same tiles. It's like if there was like an anime about poker and it was just the poker games. But it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like they just make a bunch of new cards and a bunch of different archetypes and stuff like that for the nerdy purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So like. So like that Super Robot Wars game, is super long by is already super long by default, right?
There's even an anime about Mahjong. It's called Akagi. Yeah, go on. Sorry, Candy.
Yeah, there's an anime about everything.
Yeah, me and Dura watched Akagi. It's actually pretty good.
There's an anime about everything, of course, and like I don't know why they keep making anime about cooking.
I think that works though. It's like it's a very. Hold on.
Bless you.
Thank you. It's just a aesthetically pleasant and calming way to learn recipes, I'd imagine.
I don't know. Like I don't know. If they keep making anime about cooking, we're on a countdown for a Gordon Ramsay anime.
I'd be down with that. What you're saying that like it's a problem. You don't listen.
We cannot give him that kind of power. He'd be too dangerous.
Can't. You know why? I'm sick of the anime girls going like ooh, or something. I want an angry wrinkled British man to put 2 loaves of bread on his hand and slap them and go like you're an idiot sandwich, and she's like nani. That's what
you fucking donkey.
Exactly. You're
raw.
telling me I can't have. Why are
the
you
chicken is
me
fucking raw.
Exactly. I would watch that anime 10 times a day. That'd be amazing.
And it would be funny is they don't even like get a Japanese voice actor, it's just him screaming in English.
That's what I want. That's absolutely what I want. This just feels like a pop team epic a bit, honestly.
It's fucking raw. He comes like the chicken is fucking raw, and then the anime girl is like, "Gambate, Ramsey-san."
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Gambate, Ramsey-san.
So your type of woman is Gordon Ramsay. Sure, we'll go with that. I just want something to break the usual. It'd be funny.
Gordon Ramsay should be a VTuber.
Oh God. Could he? No, he makes live content already when he's cooking. Are some of his
Yeah.
recipes horribly terrible when you look at them, and when a pro is doing it, you're just like, Jesus? Yeah. Apparently, like, he really botched, like, I remember he botched, what was it? Did he botch, like, ramen or pho? And then he also botched, like, grilled cheese, and everyone was cooking him on that. They're like, how do you mess up grilled cheese when you're, like, a Michelin star chef?
I mean, maybe it goes around, you know, maybe it choose around. Like he's so used cooking complicated, like 5-star meals that like an omelette
Mm.
doesn't process in his brain anymore.
Well, could be. Could be.
Oh, you know, like
That's kind of the...
I
Yeah.
have this image saved, and I don't know, like imagining Gordon Ramsay talking with a bunch of anime girls remind me of that.
I'll go for it.
I'm going to send you an image, and you're going to read it.
Konnichiwa, beauty-chan. Huh? Kimi and watashi. Plap, plap. Oh.
Kimi and watashi, plap plap.
Kimi and watashi is so so cringe. You are so close. Oh my god. Kimi and watashi plap plap. Oh god. That's bad. That's like the dialogue you'd see from a guy from a side story in Yakuza before you beat him up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, like I remember like you know, like I'm playing Yakuza on stream.
Yeah. Which
we
app are
got
you on?
I don't remember. I think we are about to unlock the Cabaret Club. I think I'm like a mission away from unlocking the Cabaret Club.
I feel like you're so early on in that game. Okay, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, that's because I'm kind of doing everything.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Like I don't want to 100% the game, but I just keep getting distracted. Like
well, you chose a monolith of a game to stream, because Yakuza 0, even without like doing
yeah, it is
a
one of the longest
completionist,
ones.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. Luckily, Kiwami is like really short afterwards.
Yeah, and I keep like yeah, we made we already completed the side quest with like the cult.
Oh
you
yeah,
know the
Shira Pipi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shura Pipi.
Shira Pipi. Yeah, I know.
And
That's based off of a real cult in Japan.
Yeah, I know. And there is this part where like, you know, like the plot is like that guy wants to have sex with like Iori-chan.
Yeah, I remember this.
And there is this part where he's like, we can engage in special Shore Pipi, Iori-chan, that will bestow you with enormous kulipas.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you want to see her enormous kulipas, huh?
Yeah. He comes back later in the series twice. Comes back in 6, and he comes back in 8. I completely forgot about that.
She pee on my shori until I kulipa. Why do I remember all of those words? I remember all of those words, but I don't remember my own birthday sometimes.
Well, you gotta remember them for the side story, because you have to answer the dialogue choices.
I even remember the little stupid greeting, like Munancho.
Munancho, yeah. Yeah. I remember you just absolutely floor him in that fight if you just use the usual suspect of Breaker, and Breaker will just knock his shit out.
Yeah. No, and like speaking of Breaker, why do those kids look like monkeys?
Yeah, I forget if they're a reference to the Sega Monkey Ball?
Sega does on Monkey Ball, but I don't know if they're a reference to Monkey Ball.
I don't know, because I can't remember. The only thing I remember that strongly about them is for the Platinum Trophy, you have to do the side challenges, which is like on the main menu but not the campaign. And I remember theirs being relatively annoying because it's on a time limit. And it's not hard because... It's not hard, it's just the time limits too tight and they can get a little too far from each other. So you're just like, ugh.
Yeah. Although
Yeah.
to be fair, I only streamed Yakuza once this week
Okay.
because
I
I
know.
started another game. Okay, so
Ugh.
I streamed Yakuza on Monday, right?
I know the other game you streamed. Yeah.
And then I started another game on Tuesday, and I don't know. I want to finish that game. so I
That's
so
fair. That's fair.
so so I just like, because the story is very interesting, and the thing is like I like Yakuza 0, but I already know what
But you've
happens.
already played it. Yeah, you've already played it. That's the
So
problem.
so
Yeah.
so like I don't have like I do want to finish it because I like it.
Yeah, but there's no urgency to it because you've already known what's going on.
Yeah. Meanwhile in this other game is like, what the fuck is going on? I need to know. I
Yeah,
need
no,
to
that's valid.
understand. Um,
That's valid.
it's a really good game, but it's also kind of crazy. Um, okay, because like, okay, so the game is like it's like a collaboration between the guy.
Yeah.
It's a collaboration between the guy who made Danganronpa.
Yeah. Considering the art style, that makes sense.
Well, and let me confirm that like the other guy, because it's a collaboration between him and another guy. Okay, so it's a collaboration between the Danganronpa guy and the Somnium Files guy.
Oh, that's dope. Cool.
It's a collaboration between those two, and it is like a weird fucking merger of genres, because it's like a Danganronpa game, but it's also like it's also like a Persona game, and it's also like a Fire Emblem game.
Is it another death game situation?
No,
Okay, that's good.
uh, but like the funny thing is that there is a character on the game that is obsessed with the idea of a killing game.
Uh,
And
okay, yeah, makes sense.
at every minor inconvenience, at every time the group fights, every time the group gets into an argument, she's like, "I know the solution, a killing game."
Oh my god.
And there is a point where
That's
she
a
just
fun reference to it, yeah.
there is a point where she just straight up look into the camera, directly into the camera, and goes, "Killing games are a genre with untapped potential."
I roll my eyes. Hey, Junko. Junko, calm down.
Killing games are a genre with untapped potential. Uh, yeah, it's really funny because like you think about like that. One thing you learn relatively early on in the game is that there is like, okay, because the setup is like, there was like many years ago there was like an undisclosed, at least they haven't explained it yet. But many years ago there has like an unexplained like catastrophe or whatever. So now most of humanity lives in like a place called the Tokyo Residential Complex, which is like a city under like a giant dome with like artificial lighting and all that stuff. And the sky is like a screen and stuff like that. So it is completely covered. And the protagonist is just like living a normal life in there. And then one day he gets the city gets attacked by a bunch of like really weird looking monsters. And a weird little creature appears to him and gives him like a special power, right? And he uses that power to defeat the monsters. And the creature is like, you passed the test, and takes him away. And he wakes up inside of a school. He wakes up inside of a school outside of the Dome City, and very far away. And it gets explained to him that he's like a member of like, he has been chosen as like a member of this defense squad, and their job is to protect something special inside of the school for 100 days. And if they don't, and if the enemy gets their hand on that, whatever the thing is, humanity ends.
Okay, a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and like one of the things that you learn very early on is that inside of the school there is a thing called because it's really funny because everything on the school is called the Omatic. So like there is like a robot cook called the Rationomatic. And there is like a little machine that can like fabricate stuff called the Giftomatic. So everything is a matic. And there is a thing called the Revivomatic. And basically, what happens is that if one of you guys dies on battle, because you also have like a bunch of like, because again it's like a Fire Emblem game, so you have a bunch of like squad mates as well. If one of you dies in battle, a little drone with like a coffin shows up and takes the dead one away, and they put them into this machine and they revive, so you cannot die. And this girl who is obsessed with death games, when you learn that, when that is explained to you, she's like, "Oh, what? That sucks. How am I going to kill myself now? I wanted to commit suicide." We haven't talked about anything like terrible. We were just talking about, I was just explaining to Nick.
I bet I had to put the cat and dogs outside of my room because they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so like, to what part did you hear?
The part where you're explaining the school.
Yeah, okay, so they have like a gift-o-matic, and there is like a little fabrication machine, and they have like a robot that makes food that is called the ration-o-matic. That is called the ration-o-matic, and there is this thing inside of school called the revive-o-matic. Ooh. Yeah, we're talking about your wife, Silent. Don't get jealous. It's okay. You know I don't want her. I want the other one. Where is my wife? Where is my wife? My Nick is gone again. Probably more stuff with the cats. Let's wait a moment. Let's wait a moment. Nick is a little bit gone.
Yeah, keep going. I'm at my desk. I'm just helping.
Ah, okay. There he is. Okay, so what happens in the ration-o-matic is that like the revive-o-matic is that if one of your classmates dies on battle, because again it's like a Fire Emblem game, a little drone with like a coffin attached shows up and takes them away and puts them in the machine, and they revive. And when that is explained to you, this girl who is obsessed with killing games literally just goes like, "That sucks. How am I going to kill myself now?" And like every character has like a little like profile card that you can watch on the main menu. Every character has like one of those little like profile cards that you can watch on the main menu, and like it lists the stuff they like and the stuff they dislike. And her, it's like let me see if I can remember exactly what it says. It says she likes gore, misery porn, and adult games. And also, she has the best pose. She has the best pose of anyone. Like, I love that pose. That's such a good pose. That's such a good sprite. I love that sprite.
All right. Yeah, sorry. I was helping my mom with phone difficulties while I was listening to you. So like, oh yeah, this is the wife.
That's not my wife. That is
Killing
Silent's
you?
wife.
The killing game girl, because she just looks like Junko,
Yeah,
except if she was
that's the killing girl.
God
That's
Miko.
the killing game girl. She's great.
Yeah.
She's actually voiced by the same lady, because I'm playing the game with the Japanese dub.
Mm.
And in the Japanese dub, she's voiced by the same lady who voices what's her name? Jolene in JoJo.
Oh, she's great. Yeah. I know who. Yeah.
Yeah, she's voiced by the same lady who voices her, and it's really fun. And
I love that voice actor. She's a big JoJo fan. Fairuz Ai. She's like half Egyptian too. She's a big dork. I love her.
Yeah, and like every now and then she speaks in English. every now and then in battle you select her, and you know like how characters in strategy games are like little barks when you select them.
Yeah.
Every now and then she just goes, "Let's go." because she is very, very excited about being here. And she keeps trying to make it a death game. And the cast is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because okay, there is so the cast is like the protagonist who is like your boring everyman, right?
Yeah.
Except
per usual.
then there is this girl who is crazy, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, she's very normal and she's totally wife material. Yes.
Yeah, I don't trust that when it comes from you, but go on.
No, I am appeasing chat because they like her a lot. There is this guy. There is this guy who who is like one of those giant like delinquent types, you know?
Oh, is that the one that Patchy went was like Namp?
I
To
think.
me?
Yeah, he's a little bit
Yeah,
numpy.
probably. Okay, yeah.
He is a little bit numpy.
Yeah.
For those who don't understand, like that is a joke we have in our friend group. Namph stands for Nika's motherfucker.
Yeah. So usually it's dark skin, delinquent type, emo type, or gothic, punkish. Sometimes like and just really edgy.
Yeah.
They can be like a hothead or sarcastic. But yeah. And obviously bonus points if white hair.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he's like super aggressive. He's like super aggressive, super like he screams a lot and stuff like that. But he also like for some reason he's like a sucker for rules, for the rules.
He does remind me that just reminds me of two like Dangan characters that I was aware of. But yeah, go on.
And his thing is like he also like when he gets angry he needs to hit something. But he doesn't like hitting people at random, so he just hits himself.
Aw. Aw. That's kind of endearing. It's like, I'm so mad, but I don't want to hurt anyone.
There is this creature. I don't know. Like the game insists that
creature.
The game insists
Okay.
they are human. The game tells me they are human, but I don't believe the game. I'm going to show you.
Well, you did say there were monsters in this universe.
Like the game keeps insisting this is a person, and I don't believe that.
Let's see how this goes. Can't wait till you post in the stream. Oh, I was expecting something more like that still looks human. They're still relatively human.
I should mention.
I thought you were gonna show me like a picture of like Jinzo from Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'd be
that's
like,
yeah,
no, that thing's evil. It's a turtle.
I mean, to me, it looks like a turtle.
Oh well, yeah, no, but to me that's just a kid.
I'll try every now and then a mushroom grows in his hat.
In his hat?
Yeah.
Well, isn't there like the old Japanese joke that like if you wither away in the corner in the dark, like mushrooms grow out of you? That is true. Imagine if you met someone who was a different art style.
I should also mention
My
that
hero kind of did that too, actually, if I remember.
I should also mention that this guy, like, so everyone else in the game is like, like 165 to like 180 centimeters tall.
Yeah.
He's like 110.
Well, some people are just born short, Candy. I know it doesn't occur to you because you're a fucking giant. But let the short king live his life. He can't help it. It's genetics.
And his thing is like he has like horrible self-esteem.
Well, yeah, because you just commented on his height.
He has like horrible self-esteem. Like you try to talk to him, and he says like you shouldn't talk to him because it's humiliating to be associated with him, and he doesn't talk to you because of that. And he keeps talking like, and there is a point where he is like, yeah, I learned what it is to be rejected very early on from my parents.
Oh.
And he keeps talking like that. He keeps talking about like being a waste of oxygen and like everything he does like goes wrong.
Poor kid, Jesus.
I don't know. I think it's very funny to make fun of him.
What the? Oh, poor little guy.
Also,
I hope they turn around to reform.
this may change your opinion on him. But yeah, we used to feel bad for him, but then he ate someone else homemade family recipe curry.
Okay.
that they spent like 6 hours making, and he just ate it
Yeah.
all without
Yeah.
permission.
Yeah.
So now
Well,
we
I
hate him
mean,
because you don't fuck with
I
someone's
would.
curry.
You don't do that. Yeah. Well, hey, you don't have to tell this to the Southern Asian man, but like, I still feel bad for the guy. I mean, like, binge eating is like a byproduct of fucking poor mental health and poor compulsion as well. So
Yeah.
I still feel bad for the little guy. I hope things turn around for him. I also hope he pays back that person for their hard work on their curry. He at least owes
Oh,
him
she's
that,
going
though.
to like that is where we stopped last night, and the way it's looking,
Okay.
she's going to kill him
Oh, that's well, that does happen. That
because he basically told you that you have like 8 days to prepare him for a duel.
Oh.
That is where we
Well,
stopped last night.
that's
And like the thing is like, okay, so like there's another character is like a very annoying child, uh, who is like he has this thing that one of the JoJo's has where you don't know if there's a hat or his hair.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I can see some I know some characters who are like that.
Uh,
I'm specifically thinking of the protagonist from Pokemon Ruby and Emerald. I used to think his hat was actually just part of his hair, but no, it's a hat.
uh, and his thing is just like he's very angry all the time, and he hates everyone.
Mm.
Or like he acts like he hates everyone.
Tsundere.
Yeah. Uh,
Mm.
there is another character who it's too nice. I don't trust him because he's too nice, too smart, too, and he looks too normal. He's just like a guy, you know. Because like
I don't know.
every other character has like a crazy like visual design, right? Some crazy like
So it's kind of chilling to see him
he's just like a
be a little
guy.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's not
Hmm.
particularly tall. He's like 170 centimeters tall. He just has
Yeah.
like, like the regular anime protagonist hair. He,
Oh, I thought you were gonna go so far to say he was like, because like if he was just a handsome Ojo-san Prince guy, like sure you'd fill off that box, but if he's just normal dude and
he's
you're
just
not him,
he's just man.
that is odd. Yeah, that's a bit odd.
He's the guy of all time.
In an extremely diverse cast, it is
And like
odd to just have him and not be the protagonist.
he wears glasses, but like they're just normal glasses. You
Does he
know?
change his behavior when he loses them?
No. It's just his
Okay, well we'll
glasses.
have to. Well, no, did he lose his glasses yet?
Yeah, and he just goes blind, like normal people with glasses do.
Oh, well, that's a bummer. I wonder what his what will be his switch? What will be the thing that like makes him snap?
I think and there's something about him because they keep talking about his health condition and like spending a lot of time in the hospital, but they don't explain what that means or like, and they explain,
Mm,
and it's too conspicuous to be like just like a random detail about him. So I feel like
okay.
that's going to come up eventually, and I
Yeah.
don't. And he, or like, so like there are two
Maybe
options.
he's a druggie.
There are two options. He's either going to betray us, or he's a gay who doesn't know how to talk to people. Because he really, really likes the protagonist.
Hold on.
He really, really likes the protagonist. Oh, Nikki's off again. I'm going to use this opportunity to watch porn. I mean, look at scientific drawings. What time is it? How long have I been going for? Let me check something here actually. I'm seeing some stuff on my task manager that looks weird. Yeah, I am looking at scientific drawings, I'm studying anatomy. The price. Yeah. Yeah, I know the price. I am perfectly well aware of the price. No, don't worry. I haven't found anything yet. Nobody has tagged me today, actually. Nobody has tagged me on porn today. I wonder why. Let's give Nick a moment to come back.
I'm back. Sorry for this. Sorry for all of this. Blitzes.
The refractory period is bigger depending on the amount of cum. Huh.
What did I just walk back into?
No, nothing.
Okay. I'm gonna eat my oranges. Well,
Your oranges.
Gloss over that. I guess that was perfect timing for somebody, but it wasn't for me.
No, okay, but like, there's this other character who I hate. I hate him so much because there are two twins, right?
Yeah, all right.
There are two twins.
Oh, is he the protective one?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one I remember because Patchy's also playing this game, and she posted like this guy who's like a syscon or something.
Yeah, but like he's such a horrible. I hate him. I want to kill him with my own two hands. He is the worst man. And I don't know. There's like I'm starting to feel like there's going to be.
Is it just because he's overly confrontational to you or something?
He's really confrontational, but he's also like super like narcissistic. And like I don't know, like yeah, it is already weird that like he's clearly in love with his sister.
Yeah.
Like that's already weird enough. Like one of the first things he does is throw a tantrum because he got assigned to a different room than his sister.
Okay, that's all right.
But like I don't know, the way they interact and the way he speaks when he's not around, it feels like at some point the game is going to reveal like some way in which he's horribly abusive.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the way it is set up, like she feels like an abuse victim that has been broken down and just like doesn't speak anymore.
That's so sad.
So I hate him, and I feel bad for her.
Where?
There's also this character who is my wife, because the crazy lady was Chad's wife, right?
Yeah.
My wife is the other one, the one with the glasses.
Mm-hmm.
You have seen her, right?
I'm aware. Yeah, because you posted about her.
Yeah, she's. Well, that's really funny. Because like, okay, so like every character has like a height listed on like the report card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even the like based on the sprites, because like the sprites are like somewhat to scale.
Yeah.
Because you know the thing with like the Danganronpa style where it's like 3D environments with like 2D cutouts of the characters standing around.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, and like they're like somewhat to scale, so you get like, and it's very clear that he's supposed to be like fucking gigantic.
Yeah.
He's shorter than me.
Most people are.
I know, but like, he's like 2 inches shorter than me.
Well, she can wear heels and then you can feel it. She can wear some platforms, you know.
Okay, but like she's great. You have seen her. I mean, her design is fantastic. She looks great.
Mm-hmm.
And she also has like, she is completely 100% business all the time. There is no bullshitting. There is no bullshitting around her, and she is like, she is going to take charge. Like she is 100% the leader of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And she plays no games. And I love that. I love her. She's great. And like at some point, I don't know why, the crazy lady with the ones that likes the killing game starts calling her mistress and acting like a dog around her.
Okay, it's got you acting some sort of way.
And the protagonist legitimately wonders, like, what the fuck happened between these two? What are they doing?
Vaughn.
And you know, like, but that explains why, like, if you look up their names on like the GIF search, there are so many lesbian GIFs, so many GIFs with the lesbian flag.
What? What a surprise!
And I
Are
was
you
like,
telling me these two doing this would attract a bunch of people to make such things?
and like when I first saw those GIFs, I was like thinking like, yeah, you know, like people cheat people, you know, it's normal.
Yeah.
But like then she started calling her mistress, and I was like, ah, okay, yeah, I get it. I and you know, and there is this horrible clip. Like I don't know what came over me, but there is this scene. There is this thing called like when you kill an enemy general, you can do like a finishing blow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is like you get like a first person like view from like the general perspective, where one of your party members executes them. And she's the first, and like because of the tutorials, she is forced to be the one that gets the first finishing blow. Um, she is forced to be the one to get the finish. So you get like a first person view of like her stabbing. And I don't know what came over me when that happened. I moaned.
What?
Yeah, when she stabbed the screen, I moaned.
Oh, okay.
And
I mean, hey, more power to you. If it works, it works.
I immediately regretted that, but yeah, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and there's another character. I was forgetting her. Um, she's like, um, she's cool. I like her too. Uh, she's like, she's like a grease monkey, right? She's like that girl who like grew up with like a grandparent who is a mechanic, so she's also like a mechanic, right? You know that archetype.
Yeah.
And she's really funny because she has this thing where like whenever she gets nervous, she just starts puking.
Oh.
So she carries like these little like cute pores everywhere, but then it turns out like that port is like isolated.
Oh.
It turns out that port is like isolated and like fluid resistant, and she just uses that as like a sick bag.
Oh my god, that's
And every now and then,
that's foul.
and every now and then, every now and then, you walk by the room with like the little machine that fabricates stuff, and she's just there like making mops and like a bucket.
Dear God, woman.
She's
Go
just
to
there
a
like making
doctor.
cleaning supplies.
Just go to a doctor.
She's a mommy mommy.
Oh, mommies.
uh, yeah, and like,
Mm.
but like the crazy thing is like, okay, so like the way it works, the game is that you is like every character has like this special dagger, right?
Yeah.
And when they need to go into battle, they stab themselves with it, and that does something with their blood, and they have like a transformation where they get into like a uniform, and everyone has like a unique weapon that like manifests because of that, right?
Yeah.
So like the protagonist is a katana.
Because of course.
The protagonist is a katana. The guy who I don't trust, who is too normal and too nice, is like a sight.
Okay.
The lady I
Rad as
like,
shit.
the lady I like is a giant like 200
An
axe.
axe? I
Yeah.
knew it. Okay, yeah.
The crazy killing game girl is like a bunch of knives,
As
stuff like that.
yeah, okay.
The criminal guy is a motorcycle.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. But like her, like the one from Vomit Girl is straight up just a truck. Like
Where's the correlation to her in the truck?
because she's a grease monkey. She's a mechanic.
Right.
She's a mechanic of the group.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
and it is like an actual truck. So when you go to the strategic view, like everyone else takes one space because they're like a person, right?
And hers takes
Because
like what, 3, 4?
6.
Oh my god. With a
Uh,
chunky unit, I would feel the safest in the truck.
yeah, and like the way. Um, have you ever played Valkyria Chronicles?
Valkyria Chronicles?
Yeah.
No, no.
Okay, so like, because like if you think about a game like if you think about like a game like Fire Emblem or stuff like that, um,
Mhm.
it is turn based, and what the way the turns are set up is like every unit has like a move, right? And your turn
Yeah.
ends, and your turn ends after every unit has moved. And that game is different. In this game is different because instead of doing that, like every turn you get a specific amount of action points, and every time a unit does something that costs an action point, but the action points are not like locked to a unit.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get the same unit to move out. You can literally use your entire turn moving a single unit. But the thing is like after an action, they get fatigued. So they can still attack, but they cannot move anymore. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Um and there are items and like powers you can use to restore the fatigue, but of course that costs resources. Uh so you have to balance between like, okay, am I going to like spam this unit, or am I going to like spread out my points? What am I going to do, right? But the thing is, like, because she's inside of a truck, she doesn't get fatigued,
Yeah.
so she just can
Yeah.
keep
I mean,
moving.
that makes sense. That's
But
awesome.
it's really funny because they insinuate that, like, despite it, because like the weapons are not a physical thing, right? They're weapons, and by extension, the truck are not like a real thing that exists. There is not like a warehouse. They happen when they stab themselves with the knives, and they get like this magic blood transformation, and the game explicitly calls them like a manifestation of the power, right? Ow. Ow, ow, what the fuck? Ow, 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 give me a moment. Ah! Oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
What happened?
Oh, my hair got caught in my fan. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, like, okay,
Final
so
Destination? That'd be terrible.
like the game explicitly calls them like a manifestation of that power. Um, and they appear like out of nowhere. Like the insinuation is that all of this stuff is like made of blood, and it just takes into a shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they don't exist in like the real world. They just go away when you detransform, and they show up again when you retransform, stuff like that. Uh, but what's funny is that despite the fact that they are just like manifestations that appear, there is the insinuation that it remembers if she puked. So she has to so every now and then she has to transform just to clean it. Just to clean the inside of the truck.
Oh, that's pretty funny. I guess that is a quote unquote balancing mechanic.
No, that's just like a story thing. You don't have to do that like in the gameplay.
Oh my god, that's
I
funny.
mean, like between battles, every now and then she has to transform to clean it. Um, and then you meet like another 4 characters. Uh, and there is this guy who is like an assassin, right? Uh, who is for some reason very, very obsessed with seeing you naked. He really wants to see you naked for some reason. And he talks about like he is like an assassin, and he talks about like assassination being like they're hitmen basically, right?
Yeah.
And he talks about like that being his family business. Well, then he starts talking about how he doesn't like the family business. So you think, oh, this guy doesn't like killing. But no, it turns out he likes killing. The reason he doesn't like being a hitman is because he wants killing to be a personal thing.
Where's the heart? Where's the
Yeah,
feeling? It's all so business.
where's the art?
Where's the art? Where's the passion?
Uh-huh. Um, there is this lady who is like an aristocrat, like not an aristocrat, but she's like the daughter of like one of the richest families inside of the Dome City, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she is super like stuck up, super like like, oh, I'm over everyone. No, I am the best. I am the best. I am the business. So yeah, like super high ego, super like demanding,
Bees
super stuff like
knees.
that.
Yeah.
I listen. I'm old.
You're younger than me.
Yeah. What does that say about you?
I'm not using the bee's knees there, Grandma.
um.
Go wear your bonnet, you fucking idiot. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Like the thing about her is that like, for some reason, instead of a head, it's like a tomato
What?
with like a face.
Oh, so she's okay. Yeah, I kind of get the design in my head.
She's like a jack-o'-lantern with like a tomato instead of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. That's like a bizarre archetype or something. The overly cocky, like storybook looking ass character.
Yeah. And there is a very bad out of context clip where I say, and I quote myself, I am glad there are no black people in this game.
Yeah, why would you say that?
But the reason I say that is because she keeps
Mm-hmm.
insulting everyone in a way that makes me feel like if there was a black person in the game, she would 100% drop the hard R.
Oh, yeah, it'd be pretty bad.
Like this lady, if there was any black people in this game, she would 100% like do it with like the hard R. So okay, so like like the character I mentioned that has like a health condition that keeps being mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
She just calls him like at some point she gets angry and calls him an invalid.
Jesus.
Um, and there's at one point she calls one of the other guys like a limp-dicked flea brain, and she just
Yeah.
and she just straight up tells the turtle guy to kill himself because he's useless.
What is her problem?
She's rich,
Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, valid.
and there is this one character. Okay, so like then there is another character who is uh, like like is this girl who grew up in like the forest. But the thing is like,
Yeah.
and she didn't go to school. But she mentions like her village has like a huge library, so she learned everything from that library, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you dig a little deeper and you discover that was like not a library, it was a manga store.
People gotta read.
So
People gotta
so
read manga. Come on.
so everything she learned, so she thinks mangas are like historical books, and everything she learned about anything is like from manga. um uh and because of that she's very gullible. So like there is a point like early when you meet her where she's like talking about like the character has like a headache, and she starts speaking because she also speaks like in old time English, right?
That's pretty funny.
Because her thing is like she's convinced she's like a samurai. So she wears like traditional robes and she speaks in like old time language, and she's the only one who has like a real weapon. But instead of like a manifestation, she's the only one that has like a real weapon because she has a katana. And she's just walking around with that katana, and we will get to the katana. I will mention the katana later again. Um, but early when you meet her, you mention the protagonist mentioned he has a headache, and she goes like, "Oh, perhaps you have the malady, the incurable malady known as a migraine. Known as a migraine. I have heard tales of a migraine. A migraine is when your heart desires grain, and you die. Eventually, you will die, and your ghost will be stuck in the earth, screaming, 'My grain, my grain.'" And it's uh, and it turns out the tomato head girl that is definitely going to drop the hard R is the one that convinced her of that. um yeah okay, so her sword at first you're like, yeah, whatever. She thinks she's a samurai. She speaks in like old timey language. She wears traditional clothes. Of course, she has a katana, right? Naturally,
Mm-hmm.
that's the character archetype. But then you start like the game starts hinting at you, and you start like learning more and more about her, and he's like, she's fucking that sword.
Ugh.
She's fucking that sword.
At least wash it afterwards.
Yeah, and then the rich girl is like, you don't want to know what she's doing with that shit. And like, yeah, and like at some point, like someone asked her why her sword vibrates.
Mm. Mm.
So she's fucking that sword.
I feel like you shouldn't have such a dangerous tool, if it were, for that kind of thing.
I'm just saying, like traditionally, because of the way they're made, katana handles are very bumpy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's mostly because of the cloth.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they
Oh,
were not talking about the handle, but I'm saying she should use the handle. Not that I've thought about this or anything, but like she should use the
she's
handle.
if she's using the actual blade, that's just wishing for death.
I think she's using the sheet. I mean, she's using the sword, but
Oh,
like in the sheet.
okay, thank God. Because I was for a second, my brain was just like, oh.
Now, if there's anyone putting knives on there, is the crazy girl. Because like every now and then she just like shows up with like medical supplies and like scalpels and shit. So it's like, yeah, she definitely has like, hmm. Yeah, it's a really weird game, but I am. Come on, I cannot be the only person who has ever thought about the idea that maybe a katana handle fits kind of good.
I'm
Right?
gonna let you stew on that one on your own.
I'm just saying. Listen, in the spirit of science, you have to think about stuff in the spirit of science. You have to wonder. You know?
Do you?
Um,
Do you?
no, like, okay, so like, yeah, the cast is very, very like colorful. And the plot is like, okay, so like, you get like transported to the school and you're told you have to defend the world from like these invaders. But then people like start disappearing, like, and honestly, that is like the main reason I keep wanting to like keep moving forward in the game is that my wife disappeared. And I don't know, it does like because like she has an upgrade menu and like she's on the profile, like she's gonna be gone, right? Right?
I mean, has anyone perma-died yet? Is that a
Yes.
thing? Who?
Uh the little creature that was the headmaster of the school,
Okay. But
uh
like of the
it disappeared.
playable.
It
Okay.
disappeared and then a few days later they found him in a trash can, cut to pieces.
Okay. But like any of the humans, quote unquote.
Not yet. But they do explain that like that machine that revives people, it has a limited range. Like the drones that pick up the corpse have a limited range. So if you die outside of the range, you just stay dead. But like she cannot be dead, right? Like I need to know what happened to her.
I doubt she's dead because my brain is going like, if you have all these members in this sort of game and they're all upgradable and stuff, the only thing that ends up happening is, well, I suppose you can kill off a party member, but usually you'll get the betrayal and then maybe like a couple other betrayal units and then they become a boss stacked with the skills that you acquired.
Yeah, or like 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 the way Fire Emblem does it, where like the game itself has like a death mechanic, so people do die, but like organically as you play the game.
Okay.
It's not like a
Yeah.
story. It's not like a story thing in Fire Emblem. It just happens like if someone dies in battle, they just stay dead.
Okay. Yeah. But this has a revival mechanic, right?
Yeah,
In lore, so I don't think she could be dead by the conventional sense. So
I don't know. I just want her back, man. Well, I think the game knew people. I think the game knew people were going to like her, and I think and I think people knew that people were going to like miss her because the day before she disappears, the game finds an excuse to contrive art of her in a bikini,
okay.
and she's the only female character that has gotten art like that so far.
All right.
So I think they knew people were going to like her.
Yeah.
And it's like a full screen spread on everything. It's not like a sprite. It's like a full screen. Because like the thing visual novels do, where like every now and then they could do like a full screen art piece.
Yeah, I do remember
It's like one of those.
that. Okay.
Jason Derulo. Yeah, my brain is just doing that every now and then now. Jason Derulo. Okay, so that was my week, I guess. How was your week?
I wish I had more to contribute on this, but I haven't played this game.
No, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I know Patchy's enjoying it too.
The writing is really good. Like legitimately funny at points, but also like I feel like the pace in which the game is like on bit like like doing character arcs and like unveiling the mysteries is like very good so far.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
that's
like
good. When did it come out? A month ago? A couple weeks ago?
I think it came out like last week.
Okay. So let's see.
And I have made a point
my
actually before you
hmm.
one last interruption. Before
Yeah, no problem, no
I
problem.
I have made a point that like it's very clear that this game has like no scruples on like sensitive topics.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like it has scruples. It just doesn't like censor itself. It hasn't been insensitive yet, and I don't think it will. I don't think it is going to be. But it will go places. So like like every time the game someone mentions like like killing themselves, having sex with a sword, or with their
Yeah.
sister,
Yeah.
or sexual assault, or
Yeah.
stuff like that, I make a point to like remind everyone in chat that this game was announced on a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, this is a game that Nintendo was okay with.
Was it published by Nintendo?
No, but like
Oh,
it was announced on a Nintendo
that's
Direct.
good. I guess. It's like third party. It's like whatever.
Yeah, but like like the Dead or Alive games get ported to Nintendo Switch, but Nintendo is never going to show them on a Direct.
Yeah, and yeah, no, that'll be a cold day in hell. Um, yeah, my week. So felt like a long week. Mostly not as productive as I wanted. I kind of got into a malaise, very low energy because as I kept on doing calorie deficit, I just felt less motivated to do anything. But across the week, the shorter thing is we got through more of Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, which is a great game still. And then we're hitting a point where it's funny, everyone's having laughs and stuff, but Ghost Trick Phantom Detective is one of those games where writing is funny and kind of fun in this way where it's like, oh, since you can change the fate of people, it's things can feel a little lighthearted and you're saving the day. And then you get to the final antagonist. We haven't reached it there. I've played this game before. And it's just sad because the final antagonist is the byproduct of his government screwing him over, police screwing him over, and just life screwing him over.
Yeah.
and you just see what is that loud noise in the background, Candy?
I don't know. Maybe my fan. Maybe someone is throwing
Okay.
fireworks. Actually, I think there are fireworks around. Maybe it's that. I don't know. What
No,
kind
it
of noise
sounded
is
like
it?
a fan. It sounded like a fan.
Well, it's probably my fan.
Okay. So like the main antagonist has one of the rawest deals. The revelation that comes near the end is also very heartwarming. But yeah, we're gonna approach that. I can't wait till we do. I get to voice that character, so that'll be fun. And yeah, I didn't get to play much of Great Ace Attorney. I've been kind of grinding on the Mahjong Soul event because they have the Fate crossover, so you just get a bunch of free rewards and then you can save it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then these are all later in my week. So the biggest thing that happened this week was I watched the Minecraft movie.
Oh.
But the circumstances to which are much more annoying than I thought they'd be. So what ended up happening was after a meeting for my old uni club, I I got invited to like the Minecraft movie, and I wasn't too big on it, but one of my friends from my town was there, and she was like, "Yeah, let's go." And I won't put the blame on her. Both of us did. We didn't know. We didn't know that the people hosting it were like essentially 2 towns over.
Yeah.
So we'd have to like literally take our like the express train to watch the Minecraft movie, and even then it would take 2 hours to
Oh,
just get there.
you traveled to watch the fucking Minecraft movie?
To hang out with our friends. I didn't I was so upset. So like we got up early, we went, we went to the express train, and it was the worst day in terms of a sequence of events. We went early. You can't eat on the express train because they don't have food. We didn't pick up food because it's near just a subway station. We just wanted to eat there for dinner. And a sequence of events happens. So we go on the express train and we go on the top floor and we're just talking. We're having a good time.
Your train has
And
floors?
then, yeah, it's the express trains have like multiple floors, which is pretty cool.
Oh.
So we're on the top floor. And me and my friend are talking as two people would during a commute. We're not being particularly, oh, thank you, son. We're not being particularly loud. And then this woman from the other booth goes, excuse me, you might not know this, but you're on the top floor. This is like a quiet zone. I know it's new, but yeah, it's a quiet zone, so you don't talk. And she points at like a sign that we didn't see. And to be fair, this is a fairly new concept. And he's like, yeah, so like if you're wondering why people are staring at you, it's because of that, and it's a quiet zone. And I move my head around to see if people are staring at it. No one is, because we're talking. And I'm just like, okay. So my friend, she's like, do you want to move to like another floor so we can actually talk during our commute? And I'm like, yeah. So we did. And then even on that floor that we moved to, which was the first floor, it was also a quiet zone, Candy. So like it's, but here's the thing. The guy that we unfortunately had to sit next to because it was starting to get crowded because we only learned this in the middle of the ride was I got to sit next to a guy who really enforced the quiet zone. Luckily, we were just watching. We didn't talk. We saw that it was also a quiet zone. And he is a dude in a leather jacket with a tablet. And anyone who makes a singular noise in the entire train cart, he goes, excuse me, this is a quiet zone. And then he nods his head.
Jesus
And
Christ.
I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. And so like one guy is whisper talking to his wife on his phone because she called him, and he's like, excuse me, it's a quiet zone. Nods his head. And I'm just sitting next to him giving him the dirtiest look like, do you really need to lock into your ebook that bad? No, you know what? One more. Do you not own earphones?
It's a quiet
Like,
zone,
does
Nick.
no
It's a quiet zone.
It's a quiet zone. It's a quiet zone. It's really important that the quiet zone, if even if you like whisper, it'll just break my entire momentum and I'll just shit myself and die. And I'm just like sitting here and it's like, do none of you own earphones?
Man,
Like I can understand the principle to a degree.
I cannot believe
but if
that.
you're commuting with someone,
I cannot believe you,
like,
you
oh my
cannot
God.
even talk on the train anymore because of woke.
because of woke. I don't know. This guy looked like he was not really woke. He did not look woke at all.
I don't know, like that is something I started doing
He
recently
looked-
because it's really funny. You're saying
yeah,
like
he
you're saying
looked. He,
because of work at the end of stuff. It's really funny.
yeah, he looked like he'd be upset because the noise was being made by the woke. Like he'd make that complaint. So my friend and I are just across from each other for the rest of this train ride, just DMing each other on Discord because everyone's gonna throw a little hissy fit if you talk. And so it takes us to 2 hours. We get there, and the directions we get, this town is like Bizarro version my hometown. So we are both perplexed. We are wandering around. We're looking for the correct bus, which operates in a completely different transit system. And we get there, it's delayed. And then we wait, and then we get on the bus, and we're getting late to the Minecraft movie. We're running late. And then we get to the mall where they said the theater would be. And then we go into the mall and we explore the entire mall. We are now like 10 minutes late, and it's like we asked like, "Hey, where's the theater?" And they're like, "Oh, it's across the street." And it's like, why the fuck? So we had to walk all the way there, go into this theater, humid as hell, go in. We missed like the first 15 minutes of the Minecraft movie, and then we watched the Minecraft movie. And
Yeah, you mentioned
a
that you feel
kid's
like a
movie.
parent now.
I felt like, oh yeah. So I watched like 40 minutes of the Minecraft movie with, bear in mind these were my friends from my uni club, so my juniors, so they're like, you know, they're early to mid 20s, and I'm older, so it was very sweet that they invited me. But I as soon as I said yes to the plans, like my brain was just like, I don't care about the Minecraft movie. I haven't played Minecraft in over a decade, so it's like. But I was like, I already said yes, I can't back down. I paid for my ticket because one person bought all of our tickets, whatever. And the entire time I was watching the movie, a new form of understanding occurred to me as I watched the movie. I finally went, I finally get it now. As I'm watching Jack Black sing about Minecraft, is my brain went, I finally understand what my parents felt like when they were with me in the theater when we were watching the Yu-Gi-Oh movie and the Pokemon movie, in which, oh, it's neat that the younger ones are enjoying themselves. I'm completely checked out and bored out of my mind.
What's what the youngins have fun?
It's not about Minecraft, it's about friends. So, it's not a bad
Hi,
movie.
Dr. Mile. Hello, welcome.
Hi,
This
Dr.
is
Val.
your hello, welcome. This is
First time
my
chatter.
yeah, first time chatter. He knows me, but like just to introduce him, this is one of my best friends. His name is Nick, and he joins me every Saturday for just a little chat.
Thank you. So yeah, we watched the Minecraft movie. It hits all the references as you would think, like predictably. Like literally Steve goes like, I got this by fighting an Enderman. And there is an Enderman fight later.
Yeah. I don't know, like
the chemistry isn't bad. It's pretty cheesy, but it's like not offensive.
is the movie
It's
actually
like not like
okay? But here's my
like,
question:
it's
Is the
just like, yeah, whatever.
is the movie actually, because everyone on my Twitter talks about that movie
Mhm.
like the movie is Old Man Yaoi between
It
Jack
is. It
Black
is
and Momoa?
absolutely a 10,000%. And
It
Candy, bear in mind,
yeah, you
Candy
are
knows
you.
that whenever, yeah, no, yeah, whenever people throw like ships at me, like I try not to be as much of a buzzkill, but if I feel like people are exaggerating, my brain does go like, I don't know, this is absolutely just old man Boro Yaoi, bro. Like there's subtext and then there's just text, and the text just says Jack Black and Jason Momoa are it. Like
the text just says they are fucking.
yeah, it's just
Okay, so like
I'm
if you are
yeah,
saying it is Old Man Yaoi, it is 100% Old Man
it's
Yaoi.
absolutely. You remember the first thing I said when I watched that movie is I pinged Patch, because Patchy is the one who will ship almost anything in our server.
Yeah,
And I
like
apologize to
like
her in
I
ping.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember when she was playing Disco Elysium. Uh,
Yeah.
for the next
She like
4
she
months, for the next
it was
4
Kim
months,
and
For the next 4 months, my Twitter feed was nothing but porn of the protagonist of this coalition and his sidekick that she was
Yeah.
retweeting.
Yeah. So like she I remember she posted something of the nature of just like, oh yeah, Jason Black and sorry, Jack
Jason
Black and
Black and Jack
Jason
Momoa.
yeah, that's your son. But like Jack Black and Jason Momoa just like she tweeted something of that nature of around the time the movie came out. I was like, is this just the over exaggerating thing again? And as soon as I watched the movie, I pinged her and I went, I apologize. You were 100% on mark. Like that's just old man Barry.
100%.
um um yeah, it's not offensive. Like it's offensively bad. Like it's just kind of vapid. It's extremely fast paced. So at least like it has that going for it where you're going from set piece to set piece because the budget, obviously they have enough budget to do that, and it's just like it looks pretty.
Yeah.
And so it's like you don't necessarily get too angry that it's not deep. And to be fair, Minecraft really didn't have much of a lore going on unless you really want to care about like the fucking story games from like Telltale. But
I forgot that existed.
yeah, I did too. Yeah, they do a lot of like audible Easter eggs. Like they just say them out loud. To the point where like some of them you're just like, okay, are you gonna stare in the camera and smile when you say it? But
Like I feel like if you're going to do that all the time, at least have the audacity to like wink at the camera.
yeah, because like it definitely feels like a kid's movie. I mean, it is a kid's movie. It just everything beat for beat. Even the jokes that are kind of there's a joke where like a Minecraft villager isekais into our world, and the plot that happens with that is a woman hits him with her car, and she comes out and he's like, "I'm sorry, I've been a mess ever since my divorce." And she's like, "Oh, you've got a big head. I can't afford a lawsuit. Maybe we should go to dinner." And she eventually just like falls in love with the villager from Minecraft.
Huh?
Yeah, and then the post credit scenes is her ex husband coming to her office and being like, "You're gonna leave me for this freak?" And then the villager actually speaks is like, "Actually, I've picked up the spoils that you've tossed away, and I found the real treasure that you would never admit." Like he's just very succinct, and he's like, "I now speak English, and she speaks villager." And then she just goes like, "You're just like, huh?"
Like I don't know. Last time I played Minecraft, the villagers literally just went,
Yeah. And then at the
hmm.
end, at the end, I know spoilers for the Minecraft movie, but like Steve is in the real world, and Steve greets his neighbor. No, he goes to the house that used to be his, and then he meets a redhead, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Steve," and she's like, "I'm Alex," and you're like, "Okay."
Wait, so are you telling me that the plot of the Minecraft movie is that Steve got isekai'd into Minecraft years ago?
Yeah,
Huh?
because he's not, because Steve isn't like a block person, right? He's an actual human. So I think the operating theory is like he just he just went into Minecraft world, Minecraftopia.
Was the redhead hot at least?
No, you only see the back of her head.
Oh.
Yeah, it's probably a wig too.
The plot twist is that it was Jason Momoa on a red
Jason
wig.
Momoa. Well, no, the plot point is they go back, and then Jason Momoa and Jack Black open up like a game hobbyist shop,
And then they fuck.
and then the kid works there, and then his sister teaches self defense because she learned like the martial arts trade from whacking people with stuff in Minecraft, so she taught it as
Ah,
a self defense
yes.
tactic.
While you were
Yeah.
crafting the ender portal, I studied the blade.
Yeah, pretty much like that. And then the other woman has a Minecraft dog, and she brings it to dog shows, and it wins first place because it's a freak of nature. But it's cute, I guess. So I I don't even. Candy, I commuted 4 hours for this stupid fucking movie. It's um. So
you
after the movie,
and you didn't
yeah,
even
go
you
ahead.
weren't even allowed to speak during that commute.
I wasn't allowed to speak during that commute. What a piece of shit! Fucking.
But Nick, it was a quiet zone.
It's a quiet zone. Oh my god, it's a quiet zone. If you speak in the quiet zone, I'm gonna get really upset because I won't be able to lock into my book. Because for some reason the concept of putting music on and multitasking is above me.
Mm.
Anyway, so me and my friend are understandably angry because of all the sequence of events that happened before. And so after the movie, we're like, okay, can we grab dinner? And everyone else was like, oh, we kind of ate like before we watched the movie. And we were like, fuck you guys, you're going to have dinner with
we are quiet on a train for 2 hours to watch the fucking Minecraft movie. You are going to give us food.
you're going to give us food. So we had some Korean chicken and fries and we scarfed it down. We were really hungry. And it was okay. Not worth commuting 2 hours fucking for. And then 2 hours back. And then we went shopping with our friends. We went to a Hot Topic, and then I got depressed on how corporate it became. Like I'm just like, Hot Topic. Hot Topic used to be my utopia, you know.
Yeah.
Goths are a rare occurrence for me, and so seeing them have a shop and actually sell goth wares like edgelord rings and stuff like that, I'd be like, my home. And then the Disneyfication happened, and now I'm walking in, and it's like, here's like black and white stockings next to a Moana backpack. And I'm like, oh my god.
Do they sell Funko Pops?
They do. They have a Funko Pop wall.
Okay, so they're done.
Yeah. I completely forgot about the Funko Pop wall. I repressed the Funko Pop wall is what I did.
I'm going to agree with the theory that says like Funko Pops have big heads because they're filled with peace.
Oh yeah, because Pat and Paige said, yeah. That would actually increase their value if they were. But yeah.
Funko Pops. I don't like them. Like I don't know, like maybe I'm just being a cranky old lady. But when I look at a Funko Pop, and it makes me angry. Just looking at them.
They're not even good figures. You have better options. There's so many better options.
Yeah, but buy an Endo.
Buy an Endo. Or if an Endo's too expensive, like just buy like some other figurine type. Like the problem with the Funko Pops is they're all the same body type.
Oh, you know what? Just fucking buy a 3D printer.
Yeah, that'd be a better long-term investment. Oh yeah. So then we had dinner. We went through the shops. I wept outside of the Hot Topic with my hands in the air and my knees on the ground, screaming to a god that may not be listening. What have you done to Hot Topic? And then we went home. And this time we didn't go on the quiet train. We took an alternative route. I think I got lost in the back rooms.
The newer generation are never going to experience are never going to have the experience of meeting the love of your life outside of a Hot Topic.
You know what was even more depressing, Candy?
Yeah.
Some of the people working there, most of the people working there weren't even goth.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there and I'm like, what happened? Where are my people?
You are an endangered species.
Remember that one goth friend I told you about that I made recently?
Yeah.
And then I complained. I was like, where are all the goths? I can't find them. She's like, I've got a goth friend. I'm like, oh my god, where do you guys spawn? Oh, she's the only one I know. I'm like, this is all.
Hey, MILF. Hi.
Oh right. Then we went home and yeah, that was my week. That was the highlight of my week.
Your week. The highlight of your week was commuting 4 hours to watch the fucking Minecraft movie on an empty stomach.
I'm saying to and back. Yeah. I've learned that Here's the thing. As the years passed, I became more willing to say yes to plans because I think if someone's willing to reach out to you and invite you to something, I think that's actually a very endearing moment to be like, I want your company. And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Also, like another thing is
But
like,
now I'm like, oh no.
yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
I feel like another thing that like makes you like more like likely to say yes to plans is that like the older you get, the more everyone gets like just like busy with like
Yeah, so
with
it
like
is. Yeah.
families and jobs and like stuff like that. So
Yeah.
like the older you get, the more like valuable it is just like being able to like just hang out with all of your friends. So if you get that chance, you just say
Yeah.
yes.
When it's IRL, it's a very because like VCs and texting, it's like sort of easier to work around, but like when it's in person, it's like yeah, you do feel more tempted. We should have asked where the fucking event should have been. It was
Yeah,
frustrating because like okay, on the one hand, I get the people from that town have had to commute to the other place, but to be fair, we both have had to commute one town away. So we should have all just found an equidistant point.
yeah.
But instead we just all
But I don't know
it's
that feels like too much logistics for to watch the fucking Minecraft movie.
I mean us taking 2 hours is also too much on our end. That's a I was on the train longer than the Minecraft movie. In the time that I
At
would
least
have
twice,
been
probably.
done my commute, yeah, by the time my commute was done, I would have watched it through twice. Would I have? No, but like it could have happened.
Can you imagine you get in the fucking train and there is a screen playing the Minecraft movie?
I would kill. I would kill if someone. I would scream, and then I hope the lady who goes like, "Excuse me, it's a quiet zone." I'd rip her in half, Mortal Kombat style. I'm ready to commute a day to sit silent with my friend. Listen, yeah, that's fine. But for an event like where you're already like, I don't even really want to be here.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like the quiet zone thing wouldn't be a problem
Sometimes
for me.
chilling with friends is cool, but like, yeah.
The quiet zone, the quiet zone thing would be a problem for me because my thing is like the moment I hit like the chair, like a boss or a train, I just fall asleep.
That's fair, but like my brain goes like, okay, but still we have not answered the question. Do y'all not have earphones? And two, have you not ever been in any other form of commuting with a bus or something and just hearing people talk? Like it's not like it's so weird.
Yeah,
I've
a little bit odd.
taken two other forms of commuting, two different one train type and one other bus type, and people will talk in the background and no one's looking around going like, I hate the sound of words. It offends me.
I mean, I do
You're
that
like, yeah,
sometimes, but I keep it
whatever.
to myself.
I mean, sure, but like even then, you just pop in your earphone, or you go deep in thought, or you just scroll through your phone and you just drown it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that tough of a sequence.
I don't know. I'm like, this is a quiet zone.
I hate. Okay,
This is a
okay.
quiet
One thing.
zone.
Yeah, I know, right? The, I was about to say this. This is a thing about me, and this is an actual pet peeve that makes me lose it. And I know some friends or some people are gonna try doing it now on purpose. Like, no, if you do it on purpose, I know you're trying to get my goat. It's like I won't register it at. It has to be sincere and unironic. People who talk to you in a condescending tone, like they are a substitute teacher or librarian instructing you, make my vision go red and my brain starts circulating on how can I possibly. It's like the Donald Glover like comedy bit where he's like, how can I get them to call me a slur so I can beat the shit out of them?
How can I turn this into self-defense?
Yeah, how can I like that's the entirety of my brain wheel going is like, oh. How can I get you to call me something you shouldn't?
How do I get you to punch me first?
How do I get it? I just need it. Just need to find that solution, and my brain is racking up the equation.
Come on, I know you have a Swiss knife on your pocket. Just point that at me. Give me an excuse.
Just give me, just do it, just one. I beg you. I was like, oh, yeah, that is it's the stupid condescending tone. It's the most irritating thing that I can ever hear. And it's like, if it's a bit, like, if someone's doing it just as a joke, is like, no, it won't get me. But like, if someone I have not met is just condescendingly doing that, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, like because the thing is like if you don't know someone, you cannot know if it's a joke.
Yeah, you can't. And so like also just like slow your fucking roll.
Yeah,
If you want to, yeah,
give it a rest.
I feel like I feel like when I'm in the company of other people, I don't want to seem crazy. Like because my friend was along with me, right? So if you just fought with that person and argued, you're just making a scene. You might get escorted out of the train.
I don't know. My mom always tells me that is like one of her biggest worries. Like like when she comes out with me, then I'm just going to go insane.
But like, do you know how much like, you could just like mess with a person like that if they did the substitute teacher tone? Swing at me first, right? So everyone saw him swing at me first, right? Yeah. That was funny enough for me to lose my train of thought. Oh shit. What was I talking about?
How easy it is to mess someone with like the teacher tone.
Yeah, so if it was just me, right? You think about it and you go like, if someone did that and you just violently screamed at them, not a word, just like, "Argh!" Like, you know, a crazy homeless person, how much of that would just shut them down immediately?
I've done that, and it works.
Yeah, like, yeah. They just they wouldn't be able to. They'd be like, oh, there's no coherency here. I'm scared.
The people who talk like that to strangers have never experienced real confrontation in their life.
Yeah.
So the moment they get like a real confrontation, they crumple like a paper.
Yeah.
And that has happened to me, and like maybe it's the advantage of being as tall as I am, but like several there have been like more than once someone starts like going at that to me, and all I have to do is look at them.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to scream or say something crazy, and then they just be like, Jesus. The only time I've ever done something akin to that is more out of like an awkward situation where I told you about this once, where like this I don't want to like insinuate that she was, but this old lady on a train years ago when I was on it was kind of like coming on to me. But like she might have been
a fucking cradle rider.
She might have been like a lady of the night type. She wasn't particularly hygienic in her appearance. And I remember she was getting a little touchy on like me, and she was just like, so are you gonna do anything later? And she's just like, or something, I forget what exactly the words, but pretty much just insinuating like, hey, you could come with me. And my self-defense response was to just go, I have AIDS. She took her hand back immediately, and then we just kind of waited till one of us, cause she left first, because I was at the end of the network, and yeah. This would have to be when I was like 21. I
have AIDS.
Yeah, I have AIDS. There's not really any response she could have for that, really, when you think about it. So, like, it might not necessarily.
What if she went me too?
Oh no! I'd be like, uh-oh. I would start sweating. I would, as soon as the next stop would come, I would run out of that train. I'd just be like, I gotta get out.
Then you go like, oh look, it's my stop, and you hit the emergency button and just jump out of the train.
It was the train though, so I would have been trapped.
Your trains don't have
But
an emergency button?
I mean, yeah, but then we'd be stuck in the middle of the tunnel.
Oh. No, but like
Because our entire transit is subterranean for like the two-thirds of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, you can run.
Not in the tunnels. You can get fined for that. They'll come up to me and it's like, why did you run in the tunnel? He's like, this lady came up to me and she started touching me and I told her I had AIDS and then she went, me too. And then I was like, oh no.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. Listen. I've never bear in mind, I've never been hit on. I did not know the sequence. And also like I don't want to be mean to her, but she definitely did not seem hygienic in a lot of ways. So yeah. I was
I don't know,
like,
that is honestly like because I don't uh like because I am someone who has like when I have to go out, I do it in like to do something. I don't just go out for the sake of going out.
yeah, I'll usually conglomerate a lot of tasks along with like my go outs.
Yeah, so like whenever I go out, I have like a task in mind. And when I have a task in mind, it really fucking annoys me when people talk to me.
Yeah, no, I tunnel vision too. I don't like being deterred from
it really fucking annoys me when people talk to me because like if I am outside and like especially like it's different if I'm like hanging out with friends or something like that because then the task is just like hanging out. But if I'm like like I have to go like buy something or like get to some place or something like that, like I want to do it as fast as I can, get to point A, get back to my house, just like no interruptions, no stops, nothing like that. So it really annoys me when people talk to me when I'm outside, like doing something. And for some reason, I don't know, there's something about my face. With like every fucking old person around wants to be my friend.
Oh. I have the opposite. I have resting bitch face.
Like every fucking
I do.
I get on the line at the store and the old people start talking to me. I sit on the train and the old people start talking to me. And he's like,
I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, we both have different outlooks on this because I grew up in like a very communal neighborhood and stuff, so I'm not against
I don't even like old people.
conversation with. I'm not against like weird like just open conversations with strangers because I've just grown up with that in my life. Because my neighborhood's very much like grandparent neighborhood, and so like you're so used to talking to your neighbors. And to be fair, I'm also a sucker for old people. One of the easiest ways to get like we were talking about like the substitute teacher voice. The inverse, the best way to melt my heart is like when an old person calls me son.
Yeah.
It's just like yeah, or dear. Like I melt at that every time. I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah. I don't know. And like there is like a funny thing, like something very funny is that like every single time, every single every single old person that talks to me, they always start the conversation by making a joke about my height.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, usually, yeah, that sounds like an old person thing to do. He's like, wow, look at you, you're so tall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They always start the conversation by like being wow.
Wow, you're so tall. And then they'll say something and he's like, my son wants to be your height. Da, 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 da. He's like, do you play sports?
Yeah, they always start like a conversation like that.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of like weather jokes.
Yeah. I mean, Candy would have the perfect retort from the Yu-Gi-Oh bridge. She just spits on them and goes, it's raining.
No, but like yeah, like I don't know, like and like another thing is like I don't know like why, but like children just like me too. I don't know why. Like whenever I'm outside and there's like a baby or a toddler, they start like laughing at me and like smiling at me and like pointing at me.
Aww.
But I don't like babies.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't like babies. I have whatever the like dialectic, whatever the like perfect opposite to maternal instincts are. That's what I have.
I feel like I don't think we encounter too many kids like in town because like not many moms are just going out with their strollers because it's just not mobile friendly in the city. So like,
People,
plus you just get credit on trains.
people in Finland just don't talk to others like ever. Isn't that just like a thing in general about like that area of the world? Like
No.
like the
Oh
Nordic
wow.
countries, like people just don't talk to each other on the train and like the bus and stores and stuff like that. I feel like I have heard the same
Mm,
thing about like Norway and like Sweden. Like people just don't talk to each other.
fair.
I think it's not just like a Finland thing.
They know you don't like them, so they taunt you. That's pretty funny. What about animals? I get a lot of animals that like are coming up to me and then I just pet them.
Oh, people, animals like me a lot. That makes
Yeah,
me
yeah,
very
me
happy.
too.
But like the thing is, like for me, like it's every animal likes me.
Yeah, yeah.
Every animal
I
likes
like.
me. Like so, like yeah,
Yeah.
like dogs are always like happy around me,
Yep.
right, and stuff like that, which is
I
great
can get
because
pretty close to cat. Yeah, I can get
because
pretty close to cats now.
yeah, because
Pretty good.
it's great because like if I see a cute dog, I want to touch the dog. So like, thank you for being nice to
Yeah, I
me.
want to boop. I want to boop. I want to boop the snoot. I want to
Yeah,
pet.
yeah. But like cats never run away from me. Like that has
Yeah.
never happened to me. It's really funny because sometimes I will be walking with like my sister or my mom, and we will see a cat, and they will approach it, and it will run away. But then I approach it, and
Yeah.
then when I approach it, it just like rolls on its belly.
I think I showed you. I showed you like years ago that cat that was like walking right next to me on the sidewalk, like, and I named him Smoke.
Yeah,
And like if I just walked faster, or if I like after a certain distance, I would just look behind, and Smoke would be like 3 meters behind him, but like Smoke, and then I just whistle like, and then Smoke would just start walking next to me again. I wanted to keep Smoke. I don't know where he went. He just kind of ditched me in the middle of that walk though.
yeah. And like, but like it's like all the animals. Like I don't know, like it's very dangerous. It's very like not dangerous, but like annoying for me to go to like parks or like areas with a lot of like forestry and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Because by the time I'm like ready to leave, I am covered in bugs and
I think the yeah.
beetles and like beetles, butterflies, like everything just like decides to like stand on me and just stay there.
I think the raccoons I can kind of get along with, although we have to be standoffish because they might have diseases. Squirrels, yeah, but like even garden rabbits. No, garden rabbits get a little flinchy, but that's in their nature. But like the only ones that I guess I don't have too much, and that's also in their instinct, are just birds. Although there have been a few crows that are nice. They're neat. They're neat little guys. I like crows.
Yeah, I accidentally killed a bird the other day,
Oh,
and I kind of feel bad about that
well,
because
you should.
because I was walking like like down a street and there were like on this street there are a lot of like trees around the street,
Yeah. Hmm.
and like I was walking around there and like all of a sudden like a bird just comes from behind me like from one of those trees like full speed towards
Hmm.
my head.
Oh, and it didn't survive the impact.
And no, I have very good reflexes, so I just felt like something was coming from my head, and I just like swatted at my hand.
Oh, and you killed him. I mean, to
I,
be fair, that's a little on him too.
yeah, and I just swatted my hand, and I hit it so hard it just kind of like exploded and died.
Thwomp. Yeah, that's happened to like owls when they go into like the middle of like highways, and then just like a car hits them and they become a smear on someone's like windshield. Like not even the body is there; it's just a smear, and you're like, oh.
Yeah,
Birds can be pretty stupid in terms of like their flight coordination.
yeah. I remember. Speaking of owls, I remember back when I was in high school, there was like because we had like the the football field, right?
Yeah.
Um, but the football field was like because my school was really weird, like the elevation was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But that was kind of like a necessity with like everything in the town I grew up in because the town I grew up in was basically
Mountains.
just like it wasn't only mountains. Like specifically, my town was basically built inside a giant abandoned open air mine.
Oh.
So it's like even by standards of like a mountain, it is like super like bumpy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like there's like stuff that looks like it's the first floor is actually the basement. and stuff like that. Um, so like next to the football field, there was the football field was like in an elevated platform. And there was like because like to the side there was like a huge retaining wall, right? And on that wall there were a lot of like little holes, I guess for like drainage or something like that. I don't know. And at some point there was like some owls living on those holes.
Mm-hmm.
And around that time they started living around there. I started like hanging out on my school until late because I had gotten the computer science teacher to give me the keys to the computer lab, right? Because I like back then I was very good at making adults trust me. So I had gotten the computer science teacher to give me the computer lab keys. So like every now like at night I would just like stay there with a couple of my friends and we would like get a little LAN party going in the computer lab.
Oh, I do remember you saying something like that.
So I would leave school like very late, and because back then if I wanted to play with friends I needed to have like a LAN party because I didn't have like money to buy games back then. Every game I had on my computer was pirated. So I had no way of getting online. I didn't have a Steam account back then. So if I wanted to play with friends, we would have to like get like a little LAN party going. We would do it on the computer lab. And we had to play old games because, you know, they were school computers that weren't great. When, you know, like, we did a lot of like Unreal Tournament, for example. It was really fun. But yeah, I would leave the school late, and eventually I started like I saw the owls, and I liked them, so I started hanging out with them, and they liked me too. So they would just like I would just sit outside with like the holes where they hung out, and they would come out and just like sit next to me, and we would just like stay there, and I would like go like on their heads. And every now and then, because I did like research what species they were, and I found they were like they eat like insects, you know, like beetles and worms and stuff like that. So every now and then I would like bring them like just a few bugs, and they would like eat them, and they were very nice. Very. Owls are way softer than they look.
I think we got to pet one during like a zookeeper's visit to my elementary school once. I think it was like the barn owl or something. Or
Yeah,
no,
mine's
like
were
the
a lot
puppy
smaller
one.
than that.
Yeah, but they were pretty floofy.
Yeah, owls are really funny. And like the funny thing is, like I remember, like I actually at one point, like during the day, one of them actually like somehow got into a classroom.
Yeah.
And all of the other like kids were scared of it because they had never seen an owl before. They didn't know there were owls living on the school.
I don't think owls are too harmful to humans unless in specific circumstances.
I think there are a couple species that are like dangerous, but in general they are just like, you know.
Well, there's also the thing with like owls where like owls are the weirdest bird that you should not domesticate because owls, if I remember correctly, have a much more stricter sense of mates and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So they'll just imprint on the person owning them and think they're a mate or something like that. And
Oh.
because they're extremely possessive of of their owner, people going near that person's proximity is not going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
The owl's like, why you hitting on my girl? And you're like, you are an owl.
You are
You
an owl.
cannot. You are an owl. She can't lay eggs. I don't think so.
No, yeah, like I remember like all of the other kids, um, all of the other kids were like scared of the owl because I knew them. I actually like managed to get into the classroom and like pick them up and take them outside.
Hey, baby owl.
I just, I just grabbed them like a burrito, like wait, I just like took them outside. I wish I had hand tracking, but I think you need like special gloves for that because I move my hands a lot when I'm speaking, and you never get to see that.
Well, you'd be a perfect like gym YouTuber. They always move their hands, or like a business YouTuber. They're always the ones that are just like moving their hands, so you have something to look at while they.
Do you want a source of passive income? I don't know. But I think I will also need like a different model. I don't think this model has like rigging for the hands.
I mean, just evolve it. Don't throw her away. She's your starting. She's your starting piece. Evolve her. Find ways.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I miss those owls. I don't know what happened to them. They were still there when I left the school, but because I never came back to the school for like anything.
I guess the secondary ones that I'm used to are just raccoons because they sleep on my windowsill a lot and they're
Yeah.
pretty baby. Um, they're just little guys. To be fair, nowadays Blitz and Thor will just like bark at them, but otherwise they're very cute.
Raccoons are just
I
goofy
don't
little
even mind that
dudes.
they're goofy little dudes, and then people get really upset if you feed them. And then another part of me is like, well, suburbia has encroached on their homes. I don't know how to feel about this. Like, let the little
Yeah.
guys survive.
Yeah, like like one of the like have you ever heard like a fact that just like makes you like super sad?
What is it? And yes, I've heard many. I mean, that's the world, sadly, in a lot of ways. But yeah,
No, because like they're kind of stupid, the raccoons.
yeah,
Because like for example, like cats, like if you ever seen a cat like prepare for a jump or something like that, like cats have a lot of like they do a lot of calculation, right?
yeah.
Before they get like anywhere. And like that's also like for
Cats are
example,
kind of like weirdly. They're weirdly brain dead in some ways, but they're kind of brilliant in other ways.
yeah, and they also like
Yeah.
one of the reasons they actually like use the whiskers to like measure stuff and to like try
Yeah.
to so like they get their head next to a hole and they use the whiskers to like measure the width of the hole and determine if they can fit in there and stuff like that.
Oh, that sounds so bad out of context, but okay.
Most of the stuff I say sounds really bad out of context.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Um. So yeah, like raccoons are kind of stupid. So like what happens is that like like those huge like metallic like trash containers that you get like outside of restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what happens is that the raccoons get in there and then they don't
Oh,
know
and they
how
get
to come
trapped
out.
in and die. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's
And then
sad.
and then when
Yeah.
the truck comes by, they just get compacted.
Oh, that's terrible. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. I remember there was like a scary thing my friend told me once where like he saw
That's
a
a bummer.
squirrel jump where a squirrel jumped into a wood chipper
Oh.
and his day was not good the rest of it. He's like, he's like, you know what? I remember him going on about it and he's like, you know what? Surprisingly, a lot of blood. Like they're small, still quite a bit. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, like I don't want to get into too many details, but like I have family that is involved with like and was back when like Escobar was around. I have family that was involved in that. And I have family that's still involved in like the cartels and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately I am very well aware of what a meat grinder does to meat. I have seen that.
Yeah.
I have seen that
So
happen.
like, so yeah. However, I will say on the bright note, you want to know a funny fact about some raccoons?
Yeah.
Some raccoons are really stupid. So they'll just wait for crab apples to fall off trees, but by the time that's happened, the crab apples like ferment, and then they eat the crab apples that are fermented, and then they get drunk. And they're
Yeah.
just stupid. And everyone just thinks they're like rabid, but in truth, they're just like stumbling morons who can't do anything. Also, raccoons are not necessarily too difficult to domesticate. The only problems that you would kind of incur are like making sure that they stick to their diet and also um vet situations because vets have classified levels of what can be like an exotic pet, and you would think they would have a variety, but it's like no. Like for instance, a rabbit is considered like kind of an exotic pet,
Yeah.
so not all vets are equipped to deal with rabbits. So if for any reason you want to get a raccoon or a raccoon is chilling near you and you're like, yeah, he could chill with me, he could live with me, you kind of have to look into all the medical shenanigans that might need to be done accordingly.
That's one of actually I think one of my the main problems is like because I have always wanted to have a crow.
Yeah, me too.
So like
I used to collect bird feathers as a kid. Crows were the easiest one because they'd just chill in our backyard a lot.
yeah, and I think that will be like one of the main problems with having a crow is that I think that they're just considered like I think crows are considered like a migratory species.
Mm-hmm.
So like confining one to like a specific place is like illegal for like conservation stuff.
Well,
But I don't know
you
if
could
like
just have the glorified version of a pigeon coop, but just for crows.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I
you
don't
could
know
just do
like
that.
I don't know like
Caw.
I think there are some ways to have a crow legally. But I think there has to be like in specific locations and like specific species, and you need like specific like, like facilities and stuff like that.
I love them. I love them. They're just cool.
They're super smart too.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we've seen videos of them together. I absolutely adore.
And I love the fact. I love the
favorite
fact that
bird.
I love the fact that ravens and crows, they are spiteful. They know the
Yeah, they
concept
are.
and they understand the concept of
Yeah,
vengeance.
they carry grudges. They absolutely carry grudges, and they associate it with faces.
Yeah, and like
And you know what's even more candy? I think this has also been studied. They will tell.
others, they will take the other
They will
crows.
communicate their grudges to other crows. That's
So like
wild. You
so like
you
so
have
like
a
you
clan against you.
so yeah so like you make a crow angry and then you come back to the park a month later and then all the crows are angry at you because they
Yeah.
snitched on
Or
you.
or like somehow, if I remember correctly, they'll also just like warn their children. Is that they're
Yeah.
such a fascinating species. They're so cool. I absolutely love
And
them.
it's like, how do they even communicate? Because they don't have
Yeah.
that much range of noises.
They're competent problem solvers. They have associative memory, but like they're very interesting. I absolutely like
Yeah.
find them like one of them. They're in my top 10 animals. Like I love them so much.
And they have like a concept of like some degree of a concept of ownership.
Yeah.
Like they will return stuff to you sometimes.
They also just problem solve through sheer observation. There used to be a thing where it's like there was like that famous documented clip where it's like they had a hard time opening up the food and walnuts they were observing other animals eat, like squirrels. So what they would do is they would also just they would just bring it to high heights and see if it would break. But then they just bring it to like a place with heavy car traffic and let the cars run over the walnut. It'll break open and then they can eat.
Yeah,
And
like
they
they
just
just
do that.
yeah, and like they are able to like because like yeah, like one thing is being able to use tools because a lot of animals can use tools, right?
Yeah, we're just the most proficient in optimizing them.
But like there's it is a completely different story to have like an array of tools or like a multi-step problem and understand I don't need this tool right now, but
Yeah,
in two
exactly.
steps I'm going to need it.
Yeah.
And they can do that. They are able to like look at a problem and think out in like terms of steps.
Yeah.
And plan ahead those steps and make sure they have everything they need to solve the problem. Like, and that's crazy because like the thing is like
A lot of animals are just short-term goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like able to be able to do that, you need to be able to like that is abstract thought. Like they are thinking abstractly.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like the idea that an animal can do that, it's kind of crazy.
The fact that they can also just like mimic our voices, like not like ventriloquism, but just like they can actually speak words that they've heard long enough, like a parrot.
Yeah.
Like the goat. Awesome. I love him. Top 5. Top 10.
I remember I was seeing like I saw a video of a crow the other day just like insulting a guy. just like calling him puto cagao. Puto cagao. Because it was in Spanish. So it was like puto cagao, puto cagao. And that means like cheat pant fucker or something like that. So he was calling the guy a fucker cheat for a fucking cheat for pants.
I think I think the one I heard was like a crow speaking Chinese or something like that.
Oh, being cheating.
Damn.
Is that racist? Like every time someone mentions China, I go being cheating.
You're just remembering the Cena meme. That's fine. Here's the thing. I remember some people going like, because the YouTube comments were just like, Oh, his his. I'm just gonna say Chinese because I can't remember if he was. No, he must have been speaking Mandarin. Um, yeah, he was because I
小小花
remember the
送
friend I
我，
asked.
小管熊熊冰淇淋，我想喜香冰淇
So
淋。
so he was speaking and some comments were like his Mandarin is just so good. And then I remember bringing this to my Chinese friend and he was like, is it? He's like, kind of touristy, but I can understand what he's saying. Which is
冰
pretty
淇
funny.
淋。
He was speaking that with confidence, and I'm like, God damn, Cena.
小上好熊谷，加外有碗冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋，但是速度有激情比冰淇淋。Apparently, 冰淇淋 means ice cream.
Yeah, no, that's why he was holding the ice cream cone.
Can you believe? I have played so much fucking Dynasty Warriors that I can read like phonetic Chinese. Because you know, like the way like Chinese is like when you like romanize it, it is written super different to how it's read. I can actually like read that, and I know how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dynasty
I mean,
Warriors.
I hate oranges with seeds in them.
Don't they all have seeds?
No, they're seedless oranges. Because I thought I had the seedless ones, and then I just bit into a seed. I was like, oh, the texture.
You know what I wish was seedless?
There's a dirty joke here somewhere, but yeah, go ahead.
This time is not a dirty joke.
Okay.
But you know what I wish was seedless? Fucking
What?
grapes. It's so fucking annoying
What are
eating grapes.
What are you on about? There's seedless grapes, Candy.
I don't know, I've never seen seedless grapes. We don't have any of your fancy GMOs around here, mister.
Well, joke's on you. I have enough preservatives to keep me alive forever. So fuck you.
We don't do any of them fancy GMOs, mister.
We don't do any of them fancy GMOs you city folk been doing where you infect you put that estrogen in your orange and it becomes a woman. You're like, what? Country folk. You have internet. Please Google before you assume.
Please Google.
Please Google.
No, it is a huge problem in the orange market. Please Google orange inflation for more information.
No. You hate all oranges. You can't stand the chocolate. It's true. I tend to like citrusy. I tend to like citrus fruits more than other fruits. So.
I really like citrusy fruits. I really and fun fact,
Yeah.
like citrusy fruits is like my favorite smell, like in general.
Yeah, me too. Oranges, grapes, green grapes, and then like I'd say yeah, apples and bananas are probably my favorite fruits. I know it's a basic spread, but
I think like specifically like limes is my favorite. Like the smell of limes is like my favorite smell. Like,
oh, the smell of lime is amazing.
Yeah, they smell so
I'm trying to
good.
think of other. I'm trying to think of other fruits. I also, you know what? I also will just come out and say it. I don't mind raisins.
I don't like raisins because of the texture.
Just don't mind.
Because like that is the thing
I don't mind sweetness.
That is one of the most annoying things about like my autism is that I am stupidly sensitive to like food texture. So like
that's the only thing about your autism that's frustrating.
I mean, I said it's one of the most annoying.
Okay.
So for example, like I have like something that I really like. Because for example, I really like carrot soup, carrot cream.
Oh, okay.
I really
I'm not
like that.
Into it, but yeah, that's fun. I like carrot cake, but yeah.
I really like carrot soup, but the thing is like, it has to be a specific consistency.
Oh yeah. Okay. Textures, right? Textures. Okay.
It has to be a specific. If it's not the correct consistency, even if the taste is the same, I cannot eat it because my body reacts and it's
Do you
and it's like
prefer it? Do you prefer it more creamy, more viscous? Like what?
creamy but not chunks, creamy but soft
Okay, no, I can see
and
that.
smooth.
You want that consistency. Yeah, all right.
Um,
You like mushroom soup but hate mushrooms? That's fair. Well, to be fair, most mushrooms, because they absorb so much water, Killa, mushrooms also just deteriorate flavor, so you have to really be able to take the water out of them too.
yeah,
I
and
do
like
like I do like a nice mushroom melt burger though. They're actually pretty good. And mushroom on my pizza. I don't mind mushroom on my pizza.
yeah,
Anyway, go ahead, Candy.
and like for example, when I'm making pasta, I need to like put it on a timer and like always in the same temperature because if it gets
Mm-hmm.
too soft, I cannot eat it.
Yeah, no fun.
Because
You
like
know, I'm
that
yeah.
reaction is so strong that I will like if I try to force myself something that is like triggering that texture rejection, I will literally
Mm-hmm.
start like throwing up, like actually
Luck.
physically throwing up.
I think luckily for the most part there aren't too many textures that cause me any problems when eating. I'm much more taste oriented
And like
in this matter.
one of the like the things that triggers it the most is like when a liquid isn't completely liquid.
Mm.
So like so like
Stews?
chunky stuff I don't like.
Oh, that's a shame. I like some chunky soups, but I don't like too much of it.
And like if I buy like a yogurt and it has like fruit chunks, I have to filter them out.
You know what? I can kind of see where you're going from with this. Yeah, that's valid. I'm not too fond of. I'm fine with them being at the bottom of the cup because I can just eat them afterwards. But if they're in the middle of it,
And I separate my soups.
mm. Here's the thing. You know what? I said the texture thing. I haven't ate soup in a long while. I don't think I'm as. I think I've grown tired of soup.
Soup?
Mostly because of the instant noodle situation back in university. Because of course, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. I also okay. You know what? Let's also go about this. Rice or noodles?
Noodles.
Really, I'm rice
I prefer
for
pasta.
obvious reasons. Oh right, yeah, no, we've talked about this. You love yourself some good spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like for example, like you know when I'm making juice, I always have to like filter it to make sure there isn't like any like fibers or
No
anything like
pulp.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be completely liquid. Otherwise I cannot drink it.
hmm I'll say I don't necessarily like pulp. It won't throw me off too much if there's in it, but I'll just be like,
Yeah. And when I'm making like fruit punch, I have to make sure I spend like extra time, like you know,
Okay.
like
What about
moving it around because if there's any like dust still left, I cannot drink it.
ice cream?
Ice cream has to be like
I feel like ice. I feel like ice cream has to be different, right? Because when you have the scuba bowl, you have flavors like Rocky Road or whatever that has the chocolate chunks in it, but that's actually good.
uh I don't know when I have those kind of failure, but I think like I guess like the thing about like ice cream is that my brain considers ice cream as solid.
Mm. Okay. Okay. So when it's two different states of matter situation, all right. When it's liquid and solid.
Yeah, but even then
Okay.
even there are some kinds of like, for example, there is some like there is some ice cream that comes with like little chunks of marshmallow in it.
I don't think I'd enjoy that much.
No,
I feel like marshmallow texture isn't that good for me.
no, but like there's like a specific way where like marshmallows change when they get cold, and
Oh, they're like freeze dried.
that triggers my texture thing.
Because I'm thinking of a situation where it's like ice cream is nice, melts in your mouth, etc. But like marshmallow is like chewy and spongy. Those two don't necessarily mix in my head.
Yeah, but like now that I think about it, most of my favorite ice cream flavors are like don't have like any chunks or anything like that.
Do you like fruit ice cream?
Uh, if there are no chunks, yeah.
I don't. There's something about the tanginess. Okay, what about chocolate bars? What about like nougat and caramel
I
in a
usually
chocolate bar?
I usually eat like mono chocolate bars, like the ones that are just like a single bar
Oh,
of chocolate.
whoa. You don't even eat like a Kit Kat.
Not really.
Kit Kats are delicious. All right.
Yeah, like for example,
So
like
I'll have a
my
Snickers. I'll have a Mars. I'll enjoy nougat. I'll enjoy like caramel.
like uh like for example, one of my
Nougat.
favorite ice creams is is passion fruit. It's really fucking
Oh,
tasty.
right. Yeah.
Passion fruit is fantastic, dude.
I don't know why. It's just something about like fruit ice cream. Maybe it's because I had too much as a kid in elementary school because they'd make that the summer treat or whatever. But it's just like I got so oversaturated in the flavor
Yeah.
because it was way too sweet by comparison. Yeah, no, you're based.
I went to I
Dr.
remember
Vile. I like dark chocolate too. I remember in Euro server I said I like dark chocolate. And of course all the whiteys, I'm kidding, just went like, but it's so bitter. My sensitive little tongue would make me vomit if I so even lick a little bit of dark chocolate. Oh, my tongue will dry and I will shrivel up. And it's just like you just pair it off with like some nice milk tea or something. If it's that bad for you,
Yeah.
why are you all such bitch baby?
You are a bitch, baby.
You're a bitch baby. Then again, I think all around every single one of us, Euro server might not be the best benchmark for dietary consumption.
Oh yeah, there is no one who eats normally in there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, maybe Lordy does. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have some milk chocolate with on occasion. Like I don't necessarily mind, but like I vastly prefer dark chocolate because I pair it with some nice milk tea and it's a fun time. Or I'll put it in my ice cream. It's a fun time.
Yeah, I remember when I was a teenager, I went to this shop. It was a really, really nice shop. And what they had was like, they had like a bunch of machines and like fresh ingredients, like actual like fruits and like stuff like that. And what they will do is like you will pick two ingredients and they will put them on the machine and would like make ice cream, combining those two flavors.
Oh, that's cool.
And I
I've
decided
been
just to
meaning
like
to buy something like that. Yeah.
I decided to just like try like a random combination. Uh because fortunately I did like see one of my friends eat it and like the machine like is good enough at mixing it that you don't get in chunks. So I decided to try it.
Yeah.
But I picked lemon and cheese.
I mean, lemon cheesecake exists. Key lime pie, key lime,
I
some stuff
picked
like that.
lemon and
Yeah.
cheese.
Okay. Okay.
And they put it in and the ice cream comes out and it is like the best ice cream I've ever fucking eaten.
Oh yeah, tartness of cheese with the sourness of lemon, and then you add some
It
sugar
is
into
so
it.
good. It was
I
so
think that's
good.
secondable. Okay. I mean, that's yeah. To be fair, I want to get because there's for those of you who might be on a diet and you want to get like dietary even on your desserts, you can get a Ninja ice cream maker. They're like 200, and essentially what you do is you'll mix you'll lose what bleh, my brain.
Bleh.
You'll mix like low calorie milk or something or like coconut milk. Then you'll put like chocolate protein powder or whatever flavor protein powder you want, and then you'll put like additives like your vanilla syrup or whatever. And then you just you just not the milk. You'll just put it in the ice cream maker from Ninja. It'll spin. Then I think you have to add a little more of the solution that you made. Then you make it spin again, and then the consistency is just that of ice cream, and it'll taste like relatively close to the flavors that you're hoping for, like chocolate, and you're just like, yeah, I can have like a dietary dessert.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would like to get one, but I do not have enough money for it, and summer isn't so deep in yet. I mean, it's still spring. Summer hasn't occurred yet, in which the weather is hot and we need ice cream. So.
you know another thing that like that the texture thing causes?
Mm-hmm.
I cannot eat at McDonald's because of the texture of the
Why?
bread.
Yeah, you know what? But McDonald's buns are pretty gnarly.
So I cannot eat McDonald's.
I don't necessarily dislike the double Big Mac bread, but it's not that great. Like if I had to go to like
It
if you
tastes
pointed a gun at
like
me,
the taste isn't bad, but the texture triggers and that's the problem. Like that thing is like a primal response. I don't control it like consciously. It just happens. So like
but yeah, I'd
even
imagine like a brioche bun wouldn't offend that too much.
if I like the taste of something, if the texture is wrong, I just like bleh.
Frozen Coke floats are pretty good, killer. You're right. I mean, if you pointed a gun at my head and you were like, "Which fast food burger are you gonna eat?" I'd just probably pick Wendy's. right away. And before anyone goes like In-N-Out Burger, we don't have it here. I don't know. We don't have Sonic's either. So probably Wendy's.
Probably Wendy's.
If it comes for chicken sandwiches, it's probably Dave's Hot Chicken, which is great. But I have heard Howling. What was the other chicken? Howling. Is it Howling Dave's Chicken or something? Hold on. Howling Ray's. I've heard Howling Ray's is like some of the best fried chicken sandwiches you'll ever get. I really want to try them. Yeah,
I don't know.
love a good fried chicken
Maybe
sandwich.
it's like
I love a good Louisiana fried chicken sandwich.
Like I don't know, like around here, like yeah, we have McDonald's and Burger King and stuff like that. But around here, like the big franchises aren't that big.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people around here still prefer to just like random food carts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, well when the street food hits different, like you might as well, right?
Yeah.
I remember one of the times I went to France and I went to McDonald's there because my family there took me.
Yeah.
Because we were in the middle of the city, middle of the trip. And I was so used to the Canadian/American menu, which is obviously the fat person menu.
Yeah.
So like I walked up and the cashier knew a little English, like enough. And after my cousins ordered, I went like, yeah, I'll have like a double Big Mac combo with large fries and a large soda. And she's like, double Big Mac? And I'm like, yeah, you know, like your largest Big Mac. He's like, a Big Mac? And I'm like, no, like a double Big Mac. You know what that is? He's like, well, I could make 2 Big Macs for you and put that in the combo. I was like, well, that's not the same thing. And she's like, so you don't want it? No, I didn't say that. Just make the 2 Big Macs.
yeah, and like all the drinks are like smaller too. I know that.
Yeah, their large was their large was way smaller. I mean, to be fair, the average, I think there was a study that showed the average American consumes 3,000 calories a day in comparison to what they should, which is like around 2,000, 2,200.
Mm-hmm.
So like no wonder obesity runs high.
I eat a lot of calories, but I am hyper metabolic, so I kind of need to.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my metabolism not the best right now. Working out has helped it. Calorie deficit has helped it. I'm hoping to lose weight by summer so I can be hot. So I can be a hot girl summer candy.
Yeah.
Hot girl summer.
You're getting that beach body ready, baby.
I'm getting that beach body ready. I'm sorry, it's so stupid. Because I'm going to a couple conventions and I'm gonna try cosplaying. I'm gonna try cosplaying as Guzma from Pokemon, and then I want to keep. Oh, you're gonna just look at it and you're gonna be like, yeah, that's a Namp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Guzma
put a
nuts.
picture on Guzma nuts. But yeah. Because Guzma isn't necessarily. See, I say that, but it's like I'm a month away from the con, and I don't have that much money, so I need to actually strap up. I might just miss that one and just do it for Fan Expo. Who knows? Yeah, I wanna dress up as him. It's not even that hard of an outfit. I just have to get the wig, 3D print the glasses, and my university campus, I could still go back there and do the 3D printing there for only like $10.
Wow.
And then his necklace and his wristwatch, I could do the same thing. I just have to customize a hoodie and some sweatpants.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible, but I definitely need to set aside some time. And the other character is because my friends want to do a Genshin group cosplay. Even though I am not familiar with Genshin in any sort of capacity.
Then me, guys, they want you to cosplay as Kaeya.
No, apparently, new brown man has entered.
Oh.
Here he is. Put it on screen.
A second black man has hit the Genshin.
Finally, another dark-skinned king. It just took forever.
I am so glad I stopped. I am so glad I stopped playing Genshin.
That's fair. It's like even then, I'm not too against like Kai at all. I think he's neat looking, but the amount of times I've heard it, I'm just like, yeah. This guy's really cool, so I'd definitely try it out. Mostly because I want the excuse to wear a cowboy outfit.
Yeah.
Yeehaw!
I kind of want to like get into cosplay at some point too, but I need to get like back on my hormones first.
Yeah, no. If we ever go to a mutual con, we'll meet up and we'll go crazy, and
Yeah.
then you'll drive me insane.
I mean, I am almost 2 meters tall and about 66% legs. I have to cosplay Bayonetta at some point.
If you lift me up like Simba, I will break you.
Yeah, but like I am almost 2 meters tall and 66% legs. I have to cosplay Bayonetta at some point.
Dimitrescu as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but Dimitrescu is really easy, just like a dress and like a hat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're going super budget, and then Bayonetta is the one you'd have to like kind of prep beforehand, because it's like not only like a latex bodysuit. I think it has to have like the texture look of like hair, because
Yeah.
that's the lore. So
Yeah.
like yeah,
Doesn't
and
mean
then you'd
she's
have to.
technically always naked.
Yeah, she is. You'd also have to. You'd also have to figure out which Bayonetta you want to cosplay as, because it's either 1, 2, or 3.
I think
And honest,
design wise my favorite one is 2, I think.
yeah, me too. Like 3 is in order from my favorite to least favorite. It's 2, 3, and then 1.
Yeah. Me
You
too.
know,
Same.
I mean, to be fair, we have short hair bias as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Yeah, that's something we both have. We both have the short hair
yeah,
bias.
yeah. You bring Bayo with like the pixie cut, and we're both like, oh my god, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I still laugh. I still laugh at the in Persona in Smash, the Persona main protagonist has like an animation where he's on the ground begging for mercy essentially.
Yeah.
There's one with Bayo from Bayo 2. Like the camera is tilted and it shows the back of like Bayo overlooking the P5 protagonist doing that begging for mercy pose. And he's like, "Please, mom, not the belt." It's just the stupidest. Because they look alike enough, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's
Why is
like
Smash Layers like this?
the Pokemon evolution thing with like the Inkling, Tawa, and like have you seen that?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Lost at back of bio. Fair enough. That's another thing I really like, and that is that another thing I really like it like visually on the costume, but like that is also like the reason that I think I may be too self conscious to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like like the concept of side boob?
Yeah.
Like you're very familiar.
Yeah.
The Bayonetta 2 outfit kind of has like side butt.
I'm not complaining.
No, I'm saying I like that, but like I'm probably never going to have enough self-esteem to actually wear that.
Wait, hold on. I know the one you have an argument with your mom, but there's another one too. I wish I could find it because their designs are so similar that Bayo does just kind of look like Akira's mom. Like, look at these. This isn't the one that I'm talking about. I need to find that one, but it'll take forever, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's still just the please mom, not the belt is the stupidest.
I think I just tried to drag a folder into my OBS. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything illegal, but if my mom was that hot.
Candy. Candy. Candy, no. Your mom is you wouldn't, and I know even in the joke you wouldn't, because your mom has already been mentioned by other people to be extremely attractive and you feel nothing. So you're not that far gone.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
You
listen,
know,
Candy. You
I am
can't
a
do that.
pervert, but I am a pervert, but I'm a professional, and professionals have standards.
Yeah. Was it like? Wasn't there that famous like inbred family in America where it's like there are only two generations inbred, but like it's all like the damage is already at max. It's like there's one son there who can only communicate in barks.
I know I
Yeah,
shouldn't
like
laugh. I know I shouldn't laugh.
it's like yeah, no, it's like it'll mess you up. All that gene, all that shit. And remember, this is like two generations of
I,
it. That's like
I,
terrifying.
I don't know. Like I have a real bad problem with laughing at like stuff I shouldn't laugh.
No, I have a dark sense of humor too. I
Like that is one
it's
of the
this
like
thing.
big that is one of the like biggest worries. Like when my mom goes out with me, is that like we're just going to like be outside and a kid is going to like fall and eat shit and we're just going to like start like laughing on the
Do
ground
you,
in the middle of the
do you
street.
remember that? Do you remember that YouTube Irish commercial of like the car safety thing and a bunch of
Oh
kids
yeah,
die in it? I
yeah.
laughed so hard at it
Every
and I
now and
felt bad, but I still remember it. It
every
still
now
makes me laugh to this day.
every now and then I rewind. How you ever seen that like the one that is like the mix of that video and like Bazinga?
Yeah, yeah. I because the thing is, it's like the bad they rolled it and fell off the table. Because like it sounds dark that me and Kenny are laughing at it, but if you saw the ad, it's so out of left field and doesn't work that it's so
Yeah.
funny and stupid. I you know what I remember Candy that commercial. I tried editing it, and what I edited it with was I chroma mapped the car to go through color spectrum, and then I played the Mario Star music as he rolled over. Oh, we sound like psychopaths.
That's probably
If you
enough point.
people,
That
yeah,
amount
if
of
you
kids
people
probably
knew,
getting that amount of kids is probably enough points for an extra life.
if any of you saw that commercial, it is like comically bad what they were trying to like say. Like their message was just so poorly done. That's why they removed the commercial.
Yeah, I remember when I was in school. I don't remember what I was doing, but but it was like late November, right? So like right at the end of like a school year because we don't have seasons, so a school year is like lined up with like the calendar year.
Mm-hmm.
So like November is like the end of the school year. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember what I was doing in school, but I was hanging out with like one of my clubs, and we were watching like the news on TV, and they were talking about like an accident. That there was like an elevator that like fell down. Um, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was an elevator that fell down and like some people died, and they were showing like footage of like over like the place and the crime scene people were there and they were like moving around like the body bags, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like for some reason the body bags were golden instead of like the usual black that they always show us, right? And I
Yeah.
just go without thinking. I just like say out loud, are the body bags gold because it's almost Christmas? And everyone else in the room just looked at me like
No, no, don't worry. Don't worry. I was kind of like that too when I was a teen.
do we have like special like Christmas themed body bags? Yeah. You know, like I forgot to mention this like earlier when I was talking about my week. Well, like something I've been thinking about like all week. I don't know why, but I spent a lot of time this week thinking about like the logistics of Superman.
Yeah.
And it all started with like a question, right? Uh,
Okay.
can you circumcise him?
With the kryptonite knife, yes.
And I don't know, just like okay, so like does he eat? Does he cheat? Does he cheat diamonds? Does he cheat stones?
He does. Not the diamonds, but his internal systems do operate on like he can defecate, I think.
Can the plumbing and
I think
like
it's like normal.
Metropolis handle that?
I don't know if he necessarily shits at like such a high velocity that it gets bad, but then again, you don't know the yellow radiation's effect on him.
Maybe just too dense. Maybe it looks like normal shit, but it's like a ton.
Or it could be the opposite, whereas like his metabolism is so good that like the amount of waste he produces is just minimal.
Maybe his shits are so dangerous and like every time he has to shit, he has to like take a quick trip to space and like shit in the direction of the sun.
What? He has a fortress of solitude. I don't think he needs to do all that. Why would he? Why would he need to do all of that?
I don't know. Maybe it's just, too radioactive or something. I don't know. I'm just wondering, like.
I mean, there are things about his normal life that get explained in comics. Like a lot of comic book artists and authors do, like exploring some of the fine details on the mundane and how powers affect them.
Okay, so like for example, like does he get like does his hair grow? And if
Yeah,
so, how does he like shave?
I think just normal. I think his hair isn't indestructible.
Does he need to like, or does he need to like get a mirror and use it like laser vision to like burn the hair?
I think it's just his skin. He could laser the mirror. That is true.
And I don't know. I guess like another question is like if he's like with Louis Lane and he cream pies her like does he take off like a rocket?
No, because he has a kid.
Okay, but like maybe he just like pulled out and then they like put that in a turkey baster and like did it that way.
By this logic, how would he be able to like shoot in the cup without it breaking?
Huh.
Your projectile theory would have made it like shoot out God knows how far. Just
I don't know.
because I think Kryptonians are like some weird offshoot cousin species of humans, but we're just like vastly different in their ability. Like they just get cracked when they get the yellow sun's radiation.
Hmm. Yeah. And I don't know.
Yeah,
Apparently, like the reason Superman is like immune to bullets is because he's like super dense.
could be.
So
To
like
be fair, I don't keep up with this. Yeah, I don't know what he does.
so like
Like,
I have to wonder like does like does he need to like always be on? Does Louis always need to be on the top? Like is he just so heavy that he?
no, because he's being knocked over, and then Bruce is under him or something. Because they both got their asses whooped, and then Bruce isn't dead.
Yeah, but that's yaoi. The rules don't apply.
Well, yeah, Bruce is just the strongest. He's Clark. I ain't no bottom, but if I have to be, I'll usurp my power back to the top. Whatever you say, friend.
I don't know. Like I just like how does he work? Like because there are so many things that are like I don't like.
Well, there's only
does he do
there's
the
only two or
thing?
three Kryptonians.
Does his
Hmm?
body do the thing where like because like like in the regular human body like your skin is constantly dying and like being cycled.
Mm-hmm.
Does his body do that, or does he still have, like the old skin?
I think he suffered burn wounds, and then it just heals.
Yeah, but like but like that just means he can heal. Does that mean like doesn't mean like his skin is like constantly cycling?
Well, no, but like it would have to. His body would have to be able to do that function, right? In
I
order for
guess
the
so.
skin to repair back. Yeah.
Like like did his teeth fall off when he was a child?
His what?
His teeth did they fall off when he was a child? Or are just his teeth like the good ones from the
Hmm.
beginning?
I wouldn't know. This is the problem with like making a character. I mean, to be fair, comic book artists way back in the day had no fucking clue about all the sciences that came into it. And then once they started introducing science, this becomes a problem because everyone can't hand wave it away to its magic.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just a freak.
Yeah, he's just a freak.
Apparently, he has. I mean, to be fair, like he apparently Kryptonians are just like sexually compatible with humans, just like how
Yeah.
Sands are.
Yeah. I like
Even
to
though Sands
imagine.
are a weirder one
I
because
like
Sands
to
are like
imagine.
part monkey
Uh, I like to imagine that like I like to
or more
imagine that
monkey
like
than us.
I like to imagine that he lasts a very long time in bed because he has to spend most of his mental concentration making sure he doesn't go too hard.
Well, he is a speedster too, so yeah. If he just decided to pick up the pace, he might actually kill her. Yeah.
Like an actual jackhammer, like you hear that fucking sound.
Yeah, she no, her skeleton's just found, and it's the snoo thing from Futurama where the pelvis is completely destroyed. Does he have Speed Force? I don't think he actually. I don't think he. I can't remember. It's so many fucking comics. I think he's aware of it, but I don't think he taps into it like Flash.
I mean, like that is like one of the problems I think when like trying to discuss superheroes, like at least like the logistics of like superheroes is that like to begin with you have to pick which one is in because
Yeah, the
there's like
continuity.
20 Supermans.
Well, no, the thing is, there's always a mainline continuity, but the problem with the mainline continuity is so many things get retconned. So what becomes the point of canon anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who was your favorite superhero growing up, if you had any that you cared about in any sort of
Hmm.
particular capacity.
Let me think. Hmm.
I liked the Teen Titans. I liked because I was a kid, and I also liked Blue Beetle,
I don't know. I think growing
Jaime
up the only
Reyes,
like
and
I mean, like I did
Batman
like Teen
and
Titans growing up, but I think like
mhm.
as far as like like the like I guess like the more mainstream superheroes and stuff like that, I think the only ones I ever like watched really growing up was the X-Men movies.
Oh yeah, oh right, I forgot about Marvel. Spider-Man was always a classic because I always liked the kind of hero that just annoys his opponent.
And I
Yeah,
always really I don't know, I always really liked Xavier. I don't know why. He
so
always seemed cool
Professor
to me.
Xavier.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. He's neat.
And I also really like the Beast, but I think the Beast is like more of like the way he's characterized on those movies.
Oh, my favorite X-Men was Nightcrawler because I love Kurt. He's just a nice guy.
Yeah, and like in X-Men 2, the scenes with Nightcrawler are really, really cool.
Yeah,
Especially
and
considering like
Nightcrawler's the guy.
like the year and like the special effects capabilities they had back then. They did a really good job at like doing his teleporting thing.
Yeah,
Cool. It always blows my mind that the fucking movie was written by like Solid Snake.
yeah, it is pretty funny. Like David Hayter just going like, you completely forget what David Hayter is, and you're like, huh, that's wild.
Yeah, I think he did not work on 3. I think he only worked on the first 2.
Mm. I haven't watched that many X-Men movies, so
I don't know, like I don't know, like the older I got, the more I started to like Magneto and like empathize with Magneto.
well, he's a tragic villain
Yeah,
because like he's more interesting because his trauma of being a Holocaust survivor kind of maps out to him being a little extreme on the mutant thing,
yeah,
because the complete argument of, well, mutants should be registered because their powers can't actually be dangerous, can be like extremely traumatic to him because he's like, yeah, I was in a situation where people got like documented, didn't turn out too well, maybe not, and so like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Didn't go great.
didn't go too well. Would kind of say it was not a fun time, and then he
Yeah,
shut it down, and you're like, yeah,
was a little bit of an
and you're
upsie.
like, and it's just like, yeah, and it's just like, okay, it's one of those reasons where you feel bad for the villain, and you can see his problems in his ideology right away, but you can see that the past that shaped him would make him not really consider those because he's actually seen the worst of it
Yeah,
applied into a completely different thing. And so it's like, yeah, no, Magneto's great.
yeah, he's really really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like especially in the modern world, like that is so fucking like overpowered ability.
Oh yeah, no, he has. I think what was it? I think was he the one who like reconstructed his entire matter simply because of the iron in his blood? He might have to like a near subatomic level. I forget. They power scale superheroes like so stupidly, but Magneto's up there. Magneto definitely is up there.
You know, like because like there's metal in everything nowadays.
I still remember the stupid the solid JJ bit of the old cartoon where like the Fantastic Four fights Magneto, and then they best Magneto by Reed Richards making a wooden gun and spray painting it silver, and then Magneto's like, "Ha! Let me bend this gun," and then he can't, and he's like, "What? My powers aren't working," and he's like, "Ha ha! Actually, this was a wooden gun spray painted silver." So, so I still have my powers and everything. Yeah, it's like, well, then what's stopping me from causing havoc? No, no, you lost.
Yeah,
Get in the police car, please. I beg of you.
like because like how like because like you know like technically like there is like metal inside of like batteries and stuff. So can he like just like make your phone blow up?
Yeah, he can do a bunch of shit. Because magnetism, it doesn't necessarily only have to be like just the property of like metal outside. I think it's just magnetism too in that force, right? Which is
Yeah.
extremely dangerous to wield.
So could he literally just like sit down and like how what is the range on his power? Because if he's because like if he has like control over like the force of like electromagnetism, he can just like wait until the sun farts and just like kind of remove the electromagnetic sphere around the earth and then everyone die.
He could, but I don't think he's not like an anarchist. He just wants to like have a mutant only nation or something.
Could he fart an
Essentially,
EMP?
you know what? Maybe he doesn't have the electro aspect because you would think EMPs would just be out the gate, right? Because I know Static Shock, he's DC, can do EMPs, and Static is like extremely busted. Like he survived a universe-ending event, and it wasn't like he got teleported out. I think he just literally survived the heat death of his universe.
Hmm.
So yeah, hero comics
Okay,
are
but like
weird.
I guess like the ultimate question is who will win?
Mm-hmm. Who?
One gorilla on 100 Superman sheets.
Superman's shits?
Yeah, who will win?
No, you fool! You can't do this. You can't bring them. The gorilla will fling them. You've given him the most powerful ammo.
That fucking debate is like I don't know, like every now and then like the internet like get into like a fucking like peace throwing complex contest about like the fucking stupidest debate they can imagine.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That fucking
That's like
that fucking gorilla
the
thing is so
1,000
dumb.
lions or something.
Yeah,
Well, it's just the 1,000 lions or 1,000,000 lions thing repackaged though.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
yeah, like the humans will win in the end, I think, but like they will take losses.
wait, what was it? What was the original question? Was it like one gorilla versus 100 humans or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Yeah,
That
the
is
humans are gonna win. What the fuck?
that is the debate of the moment, like 100 humans versus a gorilla.
Of course, the humans are gonna win. Just sheer numbers. For perspective, I think there was like a statistical thing. Like if a grown person fought like 40 children, the children are gonna win. Same principle. Same principle on like
that's
40 or like I think it was like 40 or 60. It's like once you
that
once you
that's
go
what
to like gorilla to humans, like
that's what I always
yeah,
keep it on. That's what that's when I the reason when I get into fights with children I always pick on 30 or less.
yeah, yeah. You pick your numbers.
Yeah,
You see a gang of 40 and like yeah. You can talk that shit. I'm a head back home, chief.
yeah,
But then you see 39 and you're like,
yeah. I
yeah, I
can
could
take
kill
it.
him. Yeah, I could. Yeah, they ain't gonna live to see their next birthday.
I can kill 39 children easy.
Yeah, low diff. Candy goes suck a low diff 39.
Can I perfect parry 39 children? Find out next time.
Perfect finish. Just like how this is a perfect finish for the podcast. But don't worry, there's more stuff to be seen. You can go to my channel on any of the links here and follow, or on my YouTube. Depends on which stream you're on, the YouTube or the Twitch. Or you could also continue watching Candy's content. She's going to be streaming more. What game is it? 1,000 Line?
100 Line.
Okay. 100 Line and Yakuza 0. Make sure to subscribe to her YouTube and her Twitch, where her Twitch will show all of her broadcasts, and her YouTube will show shorts that are highlights, and the podcast here right now too.
Yeah.
But if you don't necessarily want to catch up on VODs right away and you want to see her manic ramblings, go to her Blue Sky and follow there and watch her type horrible, horrible things. But maybe you want to be more involved. Maybe you want to see those in person. Go to her Discord server if you haven't been in her Discord server yet. All of these links will be provided by the bot in the chat if inquired. And you could leave us such feedback like...
I think. Actually, let me check if the bot is alive.
Oh my god. You could leave us such feedback as... Okay. You could leave us such feedback as... Maybe you shouldn't fight 39 children. To which we'll respond...
Too bad.
Yeah, we got it covered. Yeah, we got it covered. We're low diff. Low diff. All right. And with that, I'm gone.
Okay, but who would win? Who would win? The two of us together or 40 children?
It's the Vegeta and the Goku meme where it's like, you take the 20 on the left, I take the 20 on the right.
Yeah.
Good night and have a wonderful week, everyone. Stay safe. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Wee. Okay, I can finally sneeze. I have been holding that cough for like a while. I can finally do it. But yeah, that is the end to another successful week, I think. So yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by. Make sure to check out his channel, and my channel and stuff like that. Thank you, how to speak. Thank you everyone again for being here. I hope you had a good time. And yeah, I'll see you again Mondays because I need to do stuff tomorrow, so I cannot like stream tomorrow. I did kind of want to like maybe do a short one to like advance a little bit on the like on the 100 line. But I cannot do a stream tomorrow because I need to do stuff tomorrow, so we're going to have to wait until Monday. But on Monday we'll be fine. On Monday we'll be fine, and we will continue 100 line because I want to find my fucking wife. You have no idea how much I want to find my fucking wife. Please, bring my wife back to me. Please. My wife. Oh, I am so sad about my wife. I am so deeply sad about my wife. So we will continue the search for the wife on Monday. But for now, we're just going to go say hi to someone. And yep, I'm going to go eat because I have pizza. So I'm going to go eat my pizza because I'm kind of hungry. And yeah, again, like, thank you everyone for stopping by. I'll see you again Monday. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye. Oh, thank you, what? Yeah, sure, we're going to watch those ads. Whatever. Bye.